Fellas, let's talk facts. Your belt game can make or break your look. You can have the cleanest fit, but if your belt is cracked, stretched, or sagging, you just killed the vibe. And believe me, women notice. First impressions matter. That's why I'm excited to partner with Anson Belt and Buckle. They completely reimagine how belts should work. No more holes. Anson uses a micro-adjustable track system that gives you the perfect fit every single time. Once you try it, you'll never go back to a regular belt. And here's what sets it apart. One box gives you 3 buckles and 3 straps. That's 9 different combos. More versatility, less clutter. You'll look sharp in every situation. Anson is family owned, backed by a lifetime guarantee. And because they're sponsoring this video, you'll get a free bonus buckle and a strap when you click the link below or scan the QR code. Don't wait. Upgrade your belt game today. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Mr. Trev Smooth, True Table, Ty. We start with Kiki, Bo, Miss Pearl, me, myself, and Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
We are blessed, sir.
Only heard one person. Everybody else good?
I said I would.
Always.
Yes.
Y'all got such feminine voices, ladies, so I didn't really hear you guys. So soft-spoken. What's going on in White? How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. What up?
Mm-hmm.
Marcus, did you get my DM on your B-Day? I hit you. I don't know if it was the right account.
So I ain't seen it yet, but I promise you, as soon as I see it, I'm gonna respond to it. I don't go.
Happy belated birthday! Yeah, I did see that show up, man. Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it. I don't go on social media until damn near like JR hit me up. If I ain't talking to JR, I probably might not go on tomorrow for like a year, 6 months.
Oh damn! All right, no doubt. Well, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, family time. I appreciate that though, true. I really do. I appreciate you. I'm getting better at it though. I promise you, I'm gonna start going on social media and I'm gonna do content. I'm gonna do them both.
You've been saying that for like 2 years, bro.
Yeah, I have. I know. Damn, gotta call me out of the line. Damn.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, man. But we can see what we can do. Again, if you guys haven't already hit that like button, also make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got Will is in the house. Star G. We also have Wing Goddess. Eugene Steele, Dr. Steele. Haven't seen you in a while. What's good? Red Wine 65. Eric Gilbert. DJ The Truth. Fish in the Fit. If you're catching this on the replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And shout out to the sponsor, Anson Belt and Company. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Excellent show ahead for you guys. Should we still have gender roles in 2025 or are they outdated? That is the topic for tonight. Y'all looking forward to this?
Yes.
Yeah. Tad, no?
Yeah.
Sound too passionate about it, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open it up with this first question to go ahead and get us started. Bo, you ready? Just want to make sure you can hear me. Okay. Do black men and women today even need traditional gender roles, or are they holding us back? Do black men and women today even need traditional gender roles, or are they holding us back? Go ahead, start, Bo.
Shut up, True. Okay. It's a complicated answer. Mostly because we've been so indoctrinated into gender roles that it's just kind of like the fabric of the relationships that we have now. But I do believe that a lot of that is a little outdated, mostly just because the dynamics between men and women have changed so much over the decades. Women work more, and women are not these domestic people anymore. Like a lot of us are. But when I say that, I mean, we have to work and we're tired after work as well. And if both people are working in the household, both people should contribute to the labor in the household, and it shouldn't just be on the woman. And womanly duties are just human duties. So I think that some things can be tweaked depending on the relationship dynamic, but so many things have changed. Society has changed. The way people live has changed. So we do have to kind of tweak that a little bit. Some of it is outdated for some people.
Mm.
All right. Anybody else can go, man. It's popcorn style, unless nobody wants to get called on.
I kind of agree with Bo. I feel like it's dependent on your situation. Um, in today's society, like Bo was stating, most people work, especially most Black families, right? And not just a part-time job. We both work full 40 hours or more per week with our children. So I think that traditional roles is just dependent on the lifestyle that you have. Now, some women may still want to come home and only be the one that cooks and does laundry and takes care of the kids. But the reality of the situation is that men are not bringing in the majority of the income. So they're not the ones paying the majority of the bills for. We split that, so it only makes sense that now those roles are changed where we also split the household duties as well. So I don't think it's a should we or shouldn't we. I don't think we have the luxury of it anymore.
Yeah. Where I get confused with this topic is that the concept of traditionalism, I think, is just a term because women have always worked, like always. That's actually not a new thing. The capacity that they work now is different. It's more applicable to where they're earning a lot more because even especially if you want to keep it in our community, the women of yesteryear used to work in other people's homes, do laundry, things of that nature. So they may have made, let's say, $5 a day compared to their husband making 40. Now it's more even. And so I guess where I get lost is you can always create the household the way you want it, but earning more money seems to now create this idea that, well, we need to change the trajectory of how we function in a relationship. And I guess that's where I get a little lost because there's never been a time where women have not worked. They've always worked, always. So to not have a job or facilitate any kind of work is a fantasy. That's just not how things have ever really been done.
Yeah, I agree with True. I think that seeing as how the economy isn't based on like a pay scale that's relevant to masculinity, so you could be the most feminine woman and make 10 times more than your husband. I don't think that should be the metric that we base everything off of, but I do think that a masculine and feminine exchange has to occur within a relationship. So that would require some form of, it might not be the most rigid, but some form of a structure that allows those energies to coexist in a proper context, in a proper way. So the answer would be yes, but it would need to be retweaked just for like, because you can't just be a strong physical man and make the most money in the world. It really don't work that way, you know.
In what ways do you feel that it should be retweaked?
Uh, just in regards to, because all right, you a doctor, right? And you make more than your husband, so you now the breadwinner. Do you now want him to? Uh, you gonna start cutting the grass? You gonna go and do like the heavy lifting, the typical like masculine chores within the home? You now the disciplinarian full time. You know, like does that switch your entire position, or is it just in the finances? Is what I mean by retweet.
Okay, see, I thought you were a different direction with that. Because if we're being honest, there are women that are in relationships that do cut grass, right? That do the heavy lifting. There are couples in relationships where the woman is the disciplinarian and the man is not. So I don't feel that money necessarily has something to do with it. I think it's the hours and the type of work that both genders now put in. And I see that you guys continue to talk about like men and they're making less money. So now the woman, it's the thing, it's all about like the man. But the argument is, are there traditional roles, right? And the traditional role of a man was to provide and take care of the household and pay all of the bills. So if the average man today is not able to do his traditional role, then should we expect women, or is it even realistic that most women would just have the traditional role of working and also doing everything that a woman is supposed to do? Or should it be tweaked where we both put in the same amount of energy?
I don't believe your
I think
opinion is accurate all the way around, Ty, because, and then maybe it's just the way I'm hearing it, maybe it's the way we say it. This whole men provided, women say that very, very candidly, not understanding that men have actually never provided individually. Men have provided as a community. There's always been a tribal approach to relationships. There's always been a community approach to relationship. So if you do the research on how people even came about getting together, women came from families. There was never a man that had all the resources, met a woman, and then absorbed all of her debt or whatever. That's never how it's been. Families came together. So when you see men providing, as we say, they had jobs women couldn't have, but they were building families. That's the only difference now, to where people ain't doing that no more. We have individualism now. So when you meet a woman, current day, even if you meet a woman, she probably doesn't have a family she comes from, a dad that you can talk to, because what's supposed to happen is he's supposed to be getting to know her and then figuring out how his family and their family are going to build. They would typically provide for that household to where they can go look at homes. I'm going to buy you guys a house where you marry my daughter. You're going to acquire CDs and things that we've been putting away for her. That's not how we do things now. So this whole men providing thing is nonsense. It's a fallacy. That's not how it goes.
so. Ty, I got a question for you. You
True.
said that women cut the grass now. They pump the gas too. And they have men. These women that are doing these things.
Yes, because these are households where they split these responsibilities is what. Of course, you still have those situations, as I say, dependent on the actual relationship. So, of course, you have those households where men do certain things and women do certain things, but they also have people that are deciding that they will split it down the line. So, women don't mind cutting grass because they did that before they met that man. So now they continue to help him out with those things. They take out the trash. They they fix their own cars. I've literally been outside and watched a girl with her boyfriend behind her changing a tire. So I'm just saying, it's not the idea that you guys are having of traditional roles. I feel like it's only being focused on women and what women are lacking in a relationship. And I just want to point out that it goes both ways, right? It's not a lack on either side. It's just things have changed. And now we're both realizing that we can both do these things. And probably if we both do, right, decide to help each other in these aspects, life gets a little easier, especially since life now is, more expensive, more, of a burden. It's harder, more stressful than it may have been before. And then going back through real quick, I'm sorry. You were saying that before families came together and they bought homes and things of that nature. Are we talking about Black people or are we talking in general?
No, we're talking about Black people too, because the church used to be the center of making sure that when a couple was looking to get married, that they would take up a collection amongst the community, and that marriage was facilitated amongst the community. So this idea again that you met a man that just had this great job and he made so much and that's not how it ever worked.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry.
No. I was about to cut you off. You
No,
finish.
go ahead. No, I'm just speaking to the fact that I think that does not get any credence. That it's this idea that because when I hear women say, well, men were always to provide, men have actually never done this. If you look at how we've always built society, we've always had communities. We had groups of people in our tribes. We had the hunters, we had the leaders, we had the elders, and there was always a community approach to relationships. Always. We decided to break that. So because now we have individualism, we still want to take the benefit of men providing. That's nonsense. It's never been that way. And if you look at even the current day communities that are Middle Easterns, whites, Asians, it's the same. There are no men that just do one thing, then they do it great. Their whole families do everything. When they get married, they absorb resources. The whole weddings, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. How you think that stuff is happening? Like the families are doing it. Our community don't do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm letting somebody else.
Okay. So I think it should just be a balance where no one is exhausted, right? Whatever that looks like. However, we pretend as if women aren't very comfortable with traditional roles. It all depends on what it is. I heard lawn mowing, but we're talking about 7.2% of women who actually mow lawns. That's minuscule, not even worth mentioning, to be honest. And if you're talking about household chores, you know, we share those now. Somebody was trying to say something. Hold on.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to
not
add
going
to
to take
it.
that long. Go ahead. What you going to say?
To your point, it was pumping gas, changing the tire, and mowing the lawn and taking the trash. So you might as well throw protection in too. If you got to do all those things as a woman, you don't got a man. Like I don't think that
Yeah,
man is
and
worth staying with
I
you.
don't think that women should do that. No woman with me is going to do any of those, or not even touch trash or any of that. And I have never met a woman who said they would be uncomfortable with that. So that's why I say women are comfortable with those roles. And primarily, men are still the breadwinners. We're talking about 16% of women who may actually make more than their men. And then you got about 29% where it's just about kind of equal, but 55% of women enjoy the man being the primary or sole breadwinner. So we can't be, and that's most. 55% is most. So most women do enjoy the luxury of having a man as the primary breadwinner and are very comfortable with it. And I don't see anything wrong with it. So there are such things as traditional roles. I mean, men and women are completely different, and we have to understand that. But what I will say is if you can do what you want, but if you want to enjoy the luxuries of gender role, then you have to take what else comes with that gender role.
All right, let me go ahead and get Kiki in there.
No, I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in. I feel like gender roles should. I don't think they really matter in today's time. Do what you're supposed to be doing based off of whatever your relationship terms are. These are things you should have conversations about. Who's gonna take out the trash or whatever your concerns are, just so it's clear. Who's gonna mow the lawn, like yeah, I don't think it really matters. You should just communicate it. I think it's really simple. I don't think it's anything to really complicate.
Okay, so she's trying to say y'all was complicating it. Go ahead, Miss Pearl.
I'm sorry, I was taking notes. I do think we still should have gender roles. I know there are always going to be people that are going to go against the grain. And I think that's why maybe we're the most socially or culturally disrupted as people, because everybody wants to have their own individual way of doing things. And there's no real tradition for us anymore. As far as gender roles, I guess the discussion could be, are we speaking in terms of, are these gender roles biologically predisposed or are they socially constructed? I think that's where a lot of the arguments are coming from. But if we're just speaking about, do I think that there are certain things that men should be doing and there are certain things that women should be doing traditionally? I think so. Um, we can discuss exactly what those things are. They're always going to vary. But I think we really do need to have the discussion a little more specifically. I know a lot of you have said like maybe we transform or we evolve what the roles are, because obviously times have changed, so things have to be adjusted. It's necessary to have that conversation. But to just abolish gender roles, I don't know if that's even beneficial, given the state that we are now. We even having this conversation is evident as to the confusion that we have, as well as the disagreements that we have on just what we would call simple things. They become super complicated. So again, I'm gonna land my plane, but I think we should have gender roles, and I think again the conversation should be based around more than being transformative and evolutionary.
Can
All
you
right.
tell me some of them gender roles, like what man should specifically do, what the woman should do?
Can you say that one more time, Kiki?
I said, can you tell me the specific gender role the man is supposed to do, and then what the woman's supposed to do?
So for me, it would be, like I say, taking the trash out, cutting the yard, anything that's has to do with the plumbing. I would be handling that. Small maintenance that don't require like an actual contractor for the most part. Be handling that. When it comes to security, like making sure my family's safe, being the person to volunteer to go meet the threat in the night, I'll be handling that. I believe in making sure I take care of my family financially, but to my point earlier, some people might be in situations where the women can make more, so I don't think that should be a determinant. The end, like walking on the inside of the street, so she should be on the inside, pumping the gas. Just things when you think of chivalry applied to a relationship and things that require physical strength or the nastier job, I would expect the man to be handling that.
Any of the men really, on this panel or in this space discuss that we're looking for the gender roles to change? Like, has that been something that you guys have observed?
Can you guys explain the gender roles that you expect from women? That was the second part of her question.
So again, for my house, so she does the cooking. We both will clean, but she's primarily the person that's cleaning. When it comes to like the homework with the kids, she primarily is doing it, but I don't got no problem stepping in and helping doing that too. Um, uh, she kind of run the schedule for the house. Like I don't like talking to people, so she'll just give me the information, and I'll be like, yay or nay, we doing this, that, and the third. She maintain the relationships, the social relationships we got with other people, and then just loop me in about everything. My mama, my cousin, everybody talk to her, and then I get the message through her because I really, like I say, I'll be like secluded kind of. Setting up the events for the kids. So if it's something that requires more than just payment, then I'll do it. But when it's something that like just scheduling and making the payment, all that stuff, she'll handle that. And then everything else we kind of split. So depending on who's available, and any of those things on her end, if need be, I could assist with, but I wouldn't expect her to do too much of the stuff on the masculine side.
So my only issue is in this way, I accept that men and women don't think alike. Like on topics like these, we do not think alike. Men are very like black and white, either or. You got to have gender roles or you don't have gender roles. And I don't know, and I'm not talking about the men on this panel specifically. I'm just talking about like men in general. I don't know what glitches in their brain when women are like, this is 2025. Women do things differently than before. So, as individual couples, we need to figure out what dynamic works for us, because that black and white, women cook and clean, men work and build stuff, it does not apply. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what did happen. It matters what needs to happen for you and yours, for me and mine. Because if I'm going to work all day, if I'm working from 10 o'clock to like 7, 8 o'clock at night, you want me to come home and cook and clean, and you might be at home at 5 and you ain't did nothing? Like, come on. Like, we have to think, like, because that's my life. It might not be yours. Like, your woman might get home before you. And then that's okay. Like, y'all need to establish that dynamic. But for me, I'm getting home at like 8, 8:30. Bro, you want me to cook? It's unfair. And also, if guys, as you're single and you're going to work and coming home and you're cleaning and you're cooking your meals and you're taking care of all of your household labor, once you get a woman in your household, you like, that's it, that's all, I'm retired.
Yeah.
Why? And if you individually are tired of doing that, why would you put that off on that woman and expect for her to be like, I love this. This is nice. Because that's not fair. She's tired too. Like, she's got to clean for her one self. Now she got to clean for your one self, and her one self, which is 2 people. And you clean for who? Nobody? You cook for who? Nobody? That doesn't make sense in this day and age for some people. So we're not saying get rid of them. We are saying that you need to think in color. Y'all need to get out of the black and white, either or. This is where you need to listen to women, because we think differently than you in this situation. Like, we think in a broader spectrum than you all. You all are on one line. We here and there and everywhere else. So if it doesn't make sense, maybe you should just take some time and listen and understand what people are saying.
Yeah, I think it's worth a conversation, Bo. Now, I can appreciate your comedic approach to us being very binary or black and white, as you stated. But I think where it gets a little convoluted is that the introduction from man to woman is very much the same. So as a relationship can develop and it can evolve, right? I agree with you. I actually follow that same regimen myself. We can make our relationship function the way it works for us. It's not based on me being man and you being woman. This is the challenge. Everything men have always had to do, we still have to do. You use the example that if you man are cooking and cleaning and doing what you do before the woman, then why should that change when I arrive? Well, we're saying the same thing, because if we're meeting you in your state of being a grown person and you're cooking, cleaning, doing your laundry, paying your own bills, why now when I arrive, you all of a sudden get amnesia like you don't know what Edison is or Spectrum or all of these things? Same conversation. And that's the challenge, is that it is worth a conversation. That current day, we need to figure out moving forward, because we're not going back. There's no regression. How are men and women going to facilitate relationships that are more equitable to both parties? That's what is occurring. And it seems like we can't seem to find middle ground, because I believe the men on this panel, men that listen, we ain't got no problem being man. We do the man stuff, whether it's the gutters or the protection, paying the bills, we ain't got no problem. But the challenge is that we still are doing what we've always done. We see you across the room, you fine. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Because current day, as women are saying, things have changed. That's BS. I don't know no women that approach men. I don't know no women that approach men in mass and take them out on dates. Men can barely get celebrated for their birthdays or anything like that. So some of what you're saying, I hear you, but women are still very much like, no, we want to be pursued, we want to be celebrated, we want to experience what it is to be a woman. And I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. So I think it is worth the conversation.
Now, let me be very, very clear. For me personally, I love cooking for whoever my man is. It's something that I am drawn to do. It's something that I don't know what it is. I just have to. I have to make sure that he's fed. I have to make sure that you good. You need something to eat. You want me to, I cook something for you. Sunday come, I'm cooking Sunday dinner. You coming? It's a thing for me. It might not be a thing for all women, but
Are you buying groceries though? And
Yeah.
cooking? Yeah, just asking.
Yeah. So mostly, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's literally an itch that I have. All women are not like that. So some women might need another dynamic. Some women don't cook. Some men cook. What's wrong with the man cooking for the woman? Something like you can switch something, but for me, that right there is I'm very traditional in that way. However, during the week, if I can't, I need you to be able to. You know what I'm saying? Like if I come home and I'm really tired, why don't you pick it up? Why don't you call something in and order it, or just cook something? Have dinner ready for me sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to relieve pressure on your partner is all I'm saying.
I totally agree. I'll say this and I'll pass the mic. Does that same rule apply if 1 month I don't want to pay the rent or the mortgage? Because you've seen me do it for the
You
last.
don't want to, or you can't.
No. But your verbiage is beautiful. It's perfect. I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you just said, it doesn't mean that you're not capable of getting off work and facilitating a meal. It's that it's not feasible because of maybe your energy level. It's not convenient. Cool. So am I afforded the same right? If I've been paying the rent for 2 years, do I get months off? Can I pass that? Okay.
Yes. Only because like if in fact, like if I come home and I'm tired, like I'm exhausted, there's no way I'm finna get up and cook, and I'm not. Like that would be something that I would just come home and fix a girl dinner. I don't know what's in there. Just pick some up and just eat it and pass out. And so if in fact you are in a spot where you can't, or it's not convenient to, and you need me to pick it up, absolutely, because that's why I'm here. That's why we're with each other.
So do we feel like men are that oh, go ahead, Ty.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, Trev. I was just gonna say, I just feel like realistically, most people do everything in relationships. They split the bills, they split the cooking, they split the cleaning, they split everything. It's not one person doing mostly everything. That's why in the beginning it was like our traditional roles dead. I feel like right in our loins we want to do these traditional things, but we're just not doing them all the time. Just like you stated, before you got in a relationship, True, a man had to do all of these things. Before the woman got in a relationship, she had to do all of these things, and once they come together, they still are doing all of these things. You're not paying rent realistically for 2 years and then saying you don't want to anymore. You're splitting rent. You split the bills. You split the groceries. Maybe I buy all the groceries and I cook this time, and then you buy all the groceries and you cook this time. That's the reality of the society we live in today. It's not that men are making all this money or women are making all this money and it's just one person leading the charge. No, we literally, to survive, need both of our incomes to do everything. And to live happily and peacefully, I feel, in a relationship, there has to be both of us coming to the table and doing most things together. I don't know.
I have another question. Go ahead, Trev.
I was going to say, I still stand on the fact that it's mostly men who are supporting the relationship monetarily. I mean, y'all could look it up. Y'all don't have to believe me. Pew Research got it. But even so, I don't think that most men are so unreasonable that they're going to get home from work first and then just look you in the face like, so, like, that's not real life. Most men aren't that unreasonable. If that's what you keep running into, yeah, you might want to check your vetting, because that's not how most men behave. Most men are reasonable. Like, we understand if a woman is tired, and guess what? Most men are very comfortable with taking the brunt of the responsibilities. Most men take pride in having their wife live the soft life. And if most of us could do it, we would, right? Some of us aren't in a position financially. We get that. But those men share responsibilities, particularly black men. If you look that up, you'll see that we are the most willing to acquiesce to women's needs, mostly more than anybody else, as far as splitting chores and all that. If these are the types of men that you're running into, we're going to have to look into your vetting process.
I agree with you, Trev, that black men are the ones that mostly do it. And I think it's because black relationships are the ones where it's not being led financially by the man. And I'm not saying that's why you guys do it. I'm just saying you're more likely to acquiesce to that because we both realize we both have to put in the effort in order to live comfortably in this lifestyle. You keep going back to this statistic where men make more and provide more. In real life, I don't see that in black relationships. What I see is 50-50. What I see is both people have to work a job, pay the bills together. They're talking through the bills together. They have to split everything together because no one can survive on just one person's income.
Let me go ahead and introduce, let me get to these super chats. Modern Deja 499 says, yeah, we need gender roles. Who else is gonna take care of Bo? Who else she gonna cook for? She gotta cook for somebody's son, right? Dr. Steele, member for 38 months, says Dr. Wesley Muhammad years ago showed an illustration of how the genders are switching places, and these things are coming to pass. Also got mine again with the 199. Don't let True cook, y'all. Fight back. Mine again. When I met my girl, her mom, grass was never cut. Mine again says, True think we Africans and Indians, we American, LOL. Mine again says, Trev, where you get those line numbers from? And mine again says, none of you ladies care about gender roles. Y'all better not. Never call a man sassy. I want to thank everybody that's contributed. My next question I want to pose to the panel is this. If we remove gender roles completely, what happens to the family structure in the Black community? Anybody can go.
I think we'll see more teamwork and what it looks like when a family, everybody's more hands on. Instead of, one parent expected to go out to work all the time, but misses out on their children's life, or another parent is always there, but doesn't get the experience of being able to have a well-rounded life because you're expected to be home all the time, and there is no idea of a break, because you're with your children all the time. So I think you'll see more teamwork, and more understanding and respect and gratitude for each other.
Well, appreciate you letting me back on the panel. Just so everybody know, I was banned for a while. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, banned by who? Nobody banned.
No, but gender roles, first of all, I think they're very important. I think in anything that you do, in order for you to reach a specific outcome, when it's more than one person, when it's multiple people involved in the effort, everybody is supposed to have a role. Everybody's supposed to be assigned some specific task that they are real well-rounded in, or expert in, or well knowledge in, to be able to get the desired reach the desired outcome. And when you remove that, you completely remove order. You remove structure. You remove any facet of any energy you need to, or any idea of direction towards accomplishing a specific task or reaching a specific mutual goal. When we're talking about family, like if I just try to draw a parallel between how I operate in my household with my wife, we have roles. She have things she does that she's well at. I have things that I do that I'm well at, and it's expected. And if one of us failed at it, it would be detrimental to the household. I don't know. I don't understand um, how anybody can live without that type of structure. I don't. I don't. I think people who even say that gender roles are not necessary are lying in a way, and they are indirectly misunderstanding that maybe they are even using. They're actually using gender roles, and they don't even know it. They actually have a specific task or specific thing that they do consistently, habitually, that the other person don't do, and vice versa. You just don't want to assign yourself that specific task because of you want to be liberated, or you want to deviate from the norm so that you can call yourself empowered, so to speak. But I most definitely think I don't know. I don't understand why there's a issue with roles. Like, do you feel like degraded if you have a specific expectation on what you're supposed to do? Like what the hell are we talking about?
Darren, what is it in your household that you specifically do that your wife doesn't do at all? And what is it that she does specifically that you do not help with at all?
Uh, okay, I'll give you as simple as possible. I'll take the trash out. She wash the dishes. We can go forever. Like we can go this whole thing can go a whole list long. But that's just simple. Like it's more sophisticated things than that. But just to be simple, like I am not finna touch dishes. Like I'm not. This is not what I'm doing. Like my sons are not even gonna be doing that. My sons are gonna be doing tasks, manly tasks. They're gonna be outside with me, making sure that we tighten up the yard. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be putting stuff together. We got light bulbs to change out. We got ceiling. I had to change the ceiling fans out because she ordered some type of lighting system from Amazon that she preferred in the rinky dinky old fucking ceiling fan that twists around. So she's not going to get on a ladder. My wife is not going to get on no ladders. Like that's just not going to happen. My wife is not going to go up under the sink and switch out pipes and all this other stuff. Those are things that I'm supposed to do and expected to do that she is not going to do. She's just not going to touch it. Just to be simple. But there's greater things that are more significant to keeping the household run that we also are assigned ourselves, that we mutually agree that it makes sense that this person does that and you do this or whatever.
Darwin, do you travel ever for work?
Do I travel for work?
Yeah, are you ever out of the house,
Yes.
for a long period of time? What happens?
No, not for a long period of time.
Okay. So in situations, let's say I travel for work, right? Sometimes I'm gone for a week or so. If my partner travels, and let's say it's his role where he takes out the trash, but he's gone, who's gonna take the trash out?
That's a good question. Are you gonna take the trash out?
Yes.
Okay. But
Like,
that question, but it
gonna,
sounds like you frame that question as if it negates the role. It's just something.
I'm saying there may be roles, but my argument wasn't that we should demolish roles. I said that the way that the world is now, right, we have to bend on those where we're sharing a lot of the roles that we have. Just in the same instance that you stated, your sons will never touch dishes, but once they grow up and move out of your house, they won't instantaneously have a wife. So how would their dishes get washed? If they
Well, to answer your question, they'll wash their dishes.
But they
But
never.
again, it sounds like you're trying to draw some type of context to where it negates having a role when at certain specific moments when you're alone and you have to do it on your own, it doesn't apply. It does apply. Whenever you're alone and you are doing these tasks, obviously you're going to pick up the slack. you're going to cover down for the person that's missing that would
Right.
usually do
But
it.
her point, Darwin, her point is, if they never do it, how would they know how to do it? If they come from your household where they've never touched a dish, how would they know how to do it when they get out on their own? It makes no sense.
So you're saying that
that's what her
right. So let me get this right.
Question.
So your concern is that if I raise my kids to never wash a dish because we have a designated dishwasher, your concern is that my kids will grow up and will be incapacitated from washing a dish.
Yeah, just from your simple example. Or let's say this, like women usually wash clothes. If your sons never wash clothes, which we've seen, I saw this a lot in college. Guys will go to college and they don't know how to wash their clothes. It's something just as simple as a life skill. What I'm saying is, yes, once you get into a relationship, people will fall into different roles that they choose to fall into. But I think it's very naive for us to say that we have to stick to these specific roles that are placed on us because it's not realistic.
It's even more naive. It's even more naive to think that no one can go and search on Google, ChatGPT, watch a YouTube video on how to put dish detergent on a washcloth and scrub a plate. Like, come on, like I get it. If that's your only ammunition to negate or try to challenge the context I'm trying to push on gender roles, is very weak. Like anybody can go and learn something within a matter of minutes and not be no longer be incapacitated from being able to complete the task. So don't get me wrong. If I was in Miami a couple of weeks ago, and yes, somebody had to take trash out. That's usually my task. If I'm gone, the next person is going to do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I don't touch trash. Like I'm never like, oh, my wife don't touch trash, but she the only one. No, just I think we being a little bit over exaggerating on trying to understand what I'm trying to convey.
I'm not over exaggerating. I understand exactly what you're trying to convey. I think you're not understanding what I'm trying to convey, which is that we have to be fluid in our roles, right? There will be times where it might be a role that you do that the woman will also do. And the reality is, even though you function your house that way, and that's beautiful that you do, everyone doesn't.
Okay, you know what? I think I actually understand you. So you basically what you're saying, you're championing or promoting the fact that you should learn a lot of these things, even though it's not your role, in case you would have to go learn it later. So, for example, the ladies on this panel, and it's just my assumption, you never learned your role as a wife while you were being brought up in your household. But then you still got married or you got into relationships after you left your household. So how do you reconcile that contradiction? The fact that you want to challenge me on the fact that the kids need to still learn it in case they're out on their own. Y'all won't even champion or promote learning how to become wives or suitable mates before you even leave the household, but still go out and do it. Still go out and try. Still go out and get knocked up. Still go out and get into failed relationships.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember champion for any of that. And I see that a whole nother side here. All I'm saying, let's get back to the regular topic on.
Okay, now let's get back to the topic.
Well, that's what we were talking about, right? We were talking about roles and what people actually did. And you jumped over, as you do. I know have your conversation. You want to jump to, we were never taught that, and this, that, and the third, and that's why we get out here and we
but you still went out and did it, even though you weren't taught it.
A lot of men that were never taught how to, be a provider and protector, and they grew up with mommy issues and they do the exact same thing. But that's not the point of this conversation, to go back and forth on those things that people lack in our community, right? We're talking about just traditional roles. I'm not disagreeing with your roles. What I'm saying is that people would be better if we teach our children to be fluid in these things.
So let me ask you this, and I don't want to hog the mic. Isn't it contingent upon what the husband or what the man needs out of you when he's selecting you to be the wife for him. It may be detrimental to the dynamic or the relationship dynamic he expects to be ahead of in his household if you were fluid or you're a jack of all trades, so to speak, and he's looking for someone who's very, very well-rounded in specific tasks, not a whole bunch of tasks specifically. So isn't it contingent upon what the person wants? So like if I'm vetting you, and is it contingent upon, okay, what do I need from you specifically? Like I don't need you to be doing all that shit. I just need you to be a subject matter expert in these few things. Can you do that? Can
Right.
you lock in on that?
But me knowing how to, let's say, for instance, something that's not a traditional woman's role, change a tire doesn't mean that I can't throw down in the kitchen or clean.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't.
So just because I know how to do multiple things that may fall on both sides of the spectrum doesn't mean that when you're vetting a specific woman that you don't also see she also knows how to do the things that you need.
Yeah, but how does that work out whenever you go out of the household and you want to go out and pursue your career? You want to go out and try to get financial stability. You want to go out and do hot girl summer, and then you still want to learn how to be culinary arts so you can be a wife and cook. It doesn't really work out for women these days to be able to.
You don't have to go out
spread themselves thin, right?
Learn how to cook in your household, right? By either your mother or father, whoever is actually the cook in the home. You go and get a career because in today's age, most people have to both work in order to survive in this society. Correct. And then I don't know, these are just regular life skills that people absolutely need in order today to survive. You can't just decide as a Black woman. I'm not talking about any other culture. As a Black man, you can't just decide that you're going to, graduate from high school and then hurry up and go find your husband, and you may be a waitress for the rest of your life until he knocks you up and you're good. No, that's not, you don't even make enough for both of you guys to survive, to raise a family. We both need to be able to bring in enough money for us to live comfortably. We both need to have skills in order for both of us to actually excel in this life.
Well, go ahead, JL.
Yeah, let me just test. Sweeney, can you hear me?
I do.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and get some other folks in there. Sweeney, I'm not sure if you want to jump in to the conversation right now or not. I don't know if you've been listening. If not, I'll go to somebody else.
I was listening. I do have a question for Bruce. All right, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right, I got a question for you. Are you seriously suggesting that when your sons are chore doing age, they would never wash dishes?
Did he ask me, am I sure that my sons will never wash dishes?
He said at chore doing age, they'll never wash.
Nah, my sons don't wash dishes. That's a task for a woman to do. And then let alone we got a dishwasher too. So like the woman's tasks have been taken away from technology.
I don't think I wash no dishes in this house ever either, darling.
No,
there's a difference between you not washing, kids not washing dishes.
No, my kids are not washing dishes.
I'm not sure if his kid's old enough yet, are they?
My kids are 2 and 3.
That's why I was gonna say this. How old are you when your kids are 10, 11, 12 years old?
I'm telling you now, my sons are not going to be washing dishes. I didn't say kids because I plan on having a daughter. If I have a daughter, God bless me with a daughter, most definitely she'll be washing dishes. She'll be washing dishes. She'll be washing clothes. She'll be vacuuming, mopping the floors and all kind of shit, wiping, dusting the air vents, all kind of shit.
So what chores
What
chores your son will have to do?
My sons will be taking out the garbage. They'll be cleaning the garage. They'll be making sure if things break around the house, they fix it. They'll be lined up on me on the wall whenever with their own pistols. Whenever a bump happens in the night, they'll be they'll be helping me with protection. They'll be helping bring groceries in and out of the house. They'll be helping me with repairs on the vehicles. When it's time to get on the roof to seal that hole and change the whatever the hell you call that on there and clear out the gutters, we'll be doing that. We'll be lawnmowing the yard. We'll be putting bricks down. We'll be fixing everything.
Oh, Darwin, I got another one. Shoveling the snow. And when it's cold, if your remote started, you had an issue with that, we'll be the one going out to the car to warm it up and clean it off. Like,
yep.
they'll
be out there on the grill. They'll be flipping steaks, chickens, patties, all kind of stuff.
All right, y'all. I want to make sure we get back on track. If we
I'll let them
remove,
when they're old enough.
okay, if we remove gender roles completely, what happens to the family structure in the Black community? Who else want to answer this?
I answer. I think that oh, somebody gonna go. I'll apologize.
No, you go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I think that you gotta excuse me. I'm feeling a little queasy, but if you remove gender roles completely, what you have is the fluid situation that was being discussed, and I don't think that pans out for the best. I think when we are in a fluid position as far as men and women, then the women will be complaining that the men are sassy, and the men will be complaining that the women are masculine, and that neither one is the ideal choice to be in a relationship with, and neither will get in a relationship because they're looking for something the other one doesn't provide, but they're naturally looking for that thing because at a base level, they desire certain things. Like when men talk about the type of woman they want to have, universally, it's very, very similar for the type of wife or mother that they want. And the same thing when women talk about the type of husband they want, universally, is very similar. But as we get closer to everybody's the same, there's no gender differences, it gets more and more difficult to fulfill those roles and to convince men to fulfill them when they're being taught that they shouldn't have to. Like chivalry is under attack, femininity is under attack, and marriage is under attack. Everything that would be the wrong thing or to be argued against at this point. And I just don't see how it's beneficial to us.
Anybody else haven't spoken in a while? Go ahead, Bo.
Nothing would happen to the Black community except it would stay the same. Here's the thing. Men have got to stop being NPCs. Like I really want y'all, because however you were programmed, I'm talking about there is no other dialogue that can be had. I don't know what it is, however you were raised to think, whatever you were raised to do. I'm talking about you can't leave off that one line. You can't leave off Jesus. That NPC talk. Nothing would happen. What would happen is people will be free to do what they are best suited to do. Like there are a lot of men that don't know how to do a lot of things. There are a lot of men that don't know how to fix cars. There are a lot of men that don't know how to fix stuff around the house. There are a lot of men that don't. There are some men that don't even know how to change a tire. I have met men that be like, I got AAA. I ain't changing no tire. There are a lot of men that will tell you they're not doing no manual labor. They'll pay somebody, but they ain't doing it. What would happen is people would find the people who meet them where they are, who fill in gaps. Like that's what the fluidity does. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Y'all can stick to hard black and white gender roles for everybody. But I can guarantee you, if some man come to me with this stupid shit talking about women wash dishes, men don't, I'm gonna slap you across your face and I'm gonna walk away because, bitch, who you talking to? Because not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, go find somebody else, and it's cool. Like, I can't knock a man for being like, but don't bring that over here to me, because the way I hate to wash dishes, oh, my mama be fussing at me. I can't stand it. I do it sometimes because
you slap her.
No, it doesn't. I have to get it fixed. Thank you very much, because I'm a homeowner and I have to pay somebody to do it.
No, I said, did you slap your mama whenever she tried to get you to do the dishes?
Oh, I thought you asked me about my dishwasher. No, I didn't slap my mom.
All right, so keep that same energy when that man tell
No,
you.
my mother tells me that I need to wash my dishes. Because you know what? It's just me. They my dishes. Me, mine. Right here. Right? This whole house. The whole thing. Mine.
I don't
So it's
I don't
my
know.
responsibility.
I
But
don't know.
if I cook, you washing these dishes. Like if I cook and I clean up after myself, at the end of all of it, out whatever's left in the sink, you washing them dishes. Because if not, them dishes gonna be sitting there a while. Because if I do that, you got to do something else. Like we have to help each other.
They can sit there a while just as long as you bring your ass back and come back and wash them. But you know what's crazy about y'all women? Let's just agree that roles is a task that you expect someone to do. Y'all are adamant about having these expected tasks or things that a man's supposed to do before he get in a relationship. Like he's supposed to cover the bill. He's supposed to open the door. He's supposed to do all these other things before in a relationship, before you get in a relationship. But the moment you get in a relationship, now you want to erase all these damn tasks. Like, can y'all make that make sense? Because y'all are clear on what a man's supposed to do whenever he's dating you, courting you. Well, all of that, for some reason, y'all want all that shit to go out of the door once he give you his last name. It's almost like y'all communicating a bait and switch that really deters men from even entertaining getting married. Y'all are literally scaring a generation of men away from wanting to even get involved with y'all to get married. Like y'all are not even in marriages, and y'all are saying that y'all would slap a man for asking you to wash the dishes, not even considering what is he doing for you. Like he's probably going to go do some of the most strenuous things to make sure he bring resources in the house, and he just wants you to clean up the damn dishes and forks and spoons, but you want to throw hands. Like what the hell?
You're not hearing it correctly, Darwin. What they're saying is that they want to actually do more. What I'm hearing the women say current day 2025 is that women are more capable of what we've allowed them to do in a relationship. We've done them a disservice by limiting them to the duties of cooking and cleaning. They can do more. They can change tires. They can facilitate bills. They can do more. So I think you're hearing it incorrectly. I think we as men, as Bo has said, need to be a little bit more open-minded, see things in color, and understand that women today are better than the women before, and they can do more.
Okay, no, so we just want different chores. Like, yeah, that's what it is. We want different chores.
So y'all don't do the dishes. Y'all just want to do more than the dishes. Well, then mop the damn floor then.
I know you wash the dishes, and
yeah, exactly.
I'll rake leaves. There, let's switch some of the chores and swap them around.
Y'all confusing.
You know what I mean?
I think this is what I was going. This is what I was trying to say. Somehow feminine traditional things have been so demonized that it seemed like we insulting them by asking them to do some simple things that would take
like make
for the household to run. Yeah, like a lot of those things are less labor intensive than the thing we plan on doing. But somehow the idea in their mind is that it's a negative or they being belittled. And to that, I would say, please don't push that on no younger women, because an older man can't get in a relationship with that. And the younger women, if they want to have relationships and families, they can't walk around with this belief system. Like this is anti being in a relationship. This anti-family. This is pro single, pro women have a girls club together.
How?
Simple.
How?
Like
how's it anti-relationship?
Because what you essentially are doing is the things that men traditionally be excited about or happy for a woman to do. You're removing them and saying, hey, you need to do that. And I'm going to do some of the things that you would masculinely do. You're weaving
That's not what I'm saying. Please. Okay. Here, I want you to hear the words that I'm saying. Cause like, okay. I speak words, right? And I just want you to hear like the words that come out of my mouth. And someone told me that this is rude, but I want you all to turn your brains off, restart it until your ears connect there. Because here's what I'm saying. Men are not good at everything. Every man does not do or know how to do all of the things that men are supposed to do. Women also are not very good at all of the things that women are supposed to do. Therefore, if one person is good at something that the other person is not good at, that person should probably do it or help the other person. I'm not saying that women should learn how to do men things, although when you're single, who else is going to do it? But what I'm saying is, y'all don't know. Some men don't know how to change a tire. What's the woman supposed to do? Sit there and look stupid? Some men don't know how to fix the light switch. They just went, I don't know, whatever. They just went out in the house. They don't know how to do it. If the woman knows how to do it, what is she supposed to do? Sit there and look stupid until
let's address it. Let's address the tire thing. Let's address the tire situation.
So here's the thing. I want y'all to hear my words. I'm not saying that women should be men and men should be women.
Well, let me see if I can give you. I understand what you're saying. Let me see if this.
You don't, because please don't reinterpret what I said. Please.
I'm not going to reinterpret.
You finna twist it into something that I ain't even said.
Well, let me shock you. Let me shock you.
Yeah, okay.
So let's say the car breakdown. Let's just say my son asked me the same question as you're proposing in a situation where a man does not know how to change the tire, but the woman actually does. And what are they supposed to do when the car breaks down and the tire needs changed? I would tell my son, hey, look, if you don't know how to change that tire and your wife does, do not let your wife get down there. If she can educate you, this is a moment for her to help with something that you lack that you're going to need in future occasions when the car break down again. So she should be able to, because she know how to do it, walk you through how to change that tire so you're educated. And from now on, you have the correct assigned role. And as far as masculine and feminine tasks are considered. Is that suitable for you right there, Bohemian?
Darwin. If my daughter came and told me they car broke down on the side of the road and she had to change the set in the car, I would never let her date him again. Like, you can't, it's over for buddy. Like, he let you get out here and lay in the middle of the road while you change the tire and he just watched.
Why would you ever let her?
No, this relationship got to end. You would never get.
No, immediately it has to end, right? I'm not. So y'all be.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Because if you are sitting somewhere and I am doing this, then yeah, I'm probably, because why you don't know how to change a tire as a grown person? Like, I fuss at my friends about that. Like, why you calling AAA? You don't know how to do this. Like, that's dumb. So you as a fully grown adult don't know how to do it? Yeah, we probably breaking up at that point. I'm not like, I think that y'all just don't be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was trying to give you a scenario to see if you would embrace that. Like, does that even make sense to you? The fact that there's a teaching moment, and it can be vice versa. It can be something a woman would typically do that the man knows how to do that the woman doesn't, and this is his time to be able to educate her. Like, hey, look, baby, yeah, you're supposed to know how to do this. It's probably ironic that I know how to do this because usually my sisters at home do this, but I'm gonna show you what I've seen them do so you can learn it. I'm just asking you, is that okay?
Sweeney was trying to say something to y'all.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah.
All right, so you said your daughter called you and she was changing the tire. So tell her to break up with him, right?
Yeah, I'm imagining her being on the 290 on the side of the road, getting out there trying to change the tire while this lazy, good for nothing ass nigga is in the seat watching her. Yeah, I want them to break up instantly.
You said, why would she ever know how to change the tire?
I'm not saying she can't, but If
No,
she
I'm
learned how to
asking why would
change it, or she
you
out there
ever
struggling,
want to, because you shouldn't have taught her.
you making a straw man argument. We
It's
talking
not.
about
She would never know how
typical
to change
thing.
the tire because you would have never
Darwin
taught her how to
clearly
do it.
said earlier, if no one is there, then that's one thing. We're talking about people in relationships, not single people. So if she has no one to
So
assist her, then yes, she will have to do those things. But if she has somebody there to assist her and she's still doing those things, she has no one there to assist her. I'm not going
that's
to
not the question
champion.
I'm asking.
No.
You know
The
the
reason
thing
why I
that
asked the
Sweeney,
question.
you know the thing that Sweeney is not going to be, and Bo is not
Hold
going to
on,
be able to.
wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. All right, Marcus. The reason why I said that because she would never know how to change the tire because you would have never taught her. So she would actually just call you and say, "Hey, Dad, can you come change my tire for me?"
I think you guys
You
are.
know what
It's
I'm saying?
I think it's being oversimplified. I don't think women should
Hold on,
not.
I want to make sure that Marcus understands what I'm saying first.
Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
So your point is that because I'm not expecting my daughter to do that, that she would never know. She could learn from watching me. All I'm saying is anything that we typically deem masculine, right? If she could tell me in the middle of the night her boyfriend told her, "Hey, go check that sound. That sound dangerous." Leave him. If she gotta run and open the door for him when he walking, leave him. It's just stuff where I don't want my daughter dating a half a man or a feminine man. I know that fluidity and femininity and manhood seems like the ideal thing, but I'm not wishing that on my daughter. I don't want her with the man that's painting his nails and saying period after his sentences. That's not what
But,
I'm
but what I
promoting.
wanted, but what I wanted to emphasize is that
Period.
let's just say she do teach the man how to actually change that tire and he learns. Can't we all agree after this man learns how to change that tire, the best person and most efficient person and proficient person to change the tire is the man because of the work in genetics, as far as genetics. Can we agree to that? And then we can know that the assigned role is that the man changed the tires from that point. Y'all are just arguing a lapse of education that wasn't learned previously to when the task
Oh,
is brought up in a situation. But regardless of how we want to spin it and say, "Oh, this guy don't lack the necessary skills," it doesn't negate the fact that the expected gender roles is necessary, regardless if you haven't learned it yet. Once you actually learn it and equip, we know that these masculine and feminine roles are best suited between its respective genders. I don't think there's no way to argue around that. Y'all are arguing, "Oh, what
I'm
if you
real
don't
with
know it?" Or what if you, I get it. That's just an extreme way, an over exaggerating way to try to cut around the fact that gender roles is actually necessary.
Have
I'm
any of y'all been
real
in
with
a car with a
I
man
I
getting
don't think
gas
any of
and
y'all are the same
something?
here.
What?
Have any of y'all ever been in a car getting gas when a man in your car and you pump your own gas?
No.
How did you feel about that? All right. Yeah. Okay. I just was curious.
I think it's hard to buy into the whole idea of gender roles because there the expectation of what manhood is supposed to be has shifted for women. I think that we've kind of lowered our standards for men based off of what we've seen and what we've been told. So it's just like I don't know if we think that all men are capable of doing these things that you guys are mentioning men are supposed to be doing. And it's just like if we're noticing within the
Capable.
community, if we're noticing within the community that men aren't doing these things, then wouldn't the woman just naturally adapt and say, "Oh, okay, well this is the new idea of manhood," because younger men do not think the way that you guys think, right? Like I hear you speaking, but I'm like, they don't care about these things. And I would even say if he wants to paint his nails, he's gonna be like, well, I'm still a man because I got, the pickle between my legs. So you can't tell him that he's no longer a man because he wants to paint his nails or because he wants to cook and clean and wash the dishes, and maybe he wants to be the stay-at-home dad. You know, he still thinks that he is a man because he has the organs and because he wakes up every day and chooses to be heterosexual.
Even if he didn't have the pickle between his
Do I
legs.
gotta use TikTok language?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm like,
But see,
Even if he
all of
did,
this really
even if he
what
didn't
gotta-
have it between his legs, we would still consider him a man. I don't know why you're saying I don't know who would consider him not a man, even if he get it removed. We're still going to look at him as a man if he removed the organs. And you're saying capable. The question is, what do you mean capable? From as far as I'm concerned, as long as he's got blood in his veins and all of his limbs are working, and he's got air in his lungs, he's capable. So what do you mean? Like you're not sure that these men are capable of doing the manly tasks they're supposed to do? Because
And
for
then add on
this conversation is a matter
maybe,
of just not having education, not being informed enough to do it. But when
yeah,
you're talking about capability, now you're talking about physicalities.
they just don't know, right? If we're saying that the majority of men are being raised by single moms, so they're not really being taught, you know, these gender roles and what they're expected to do, then the idea of what a man is supposed to be and what a woman is supposed to do has shifted, right? Because he grew up seeing women do everything by themselves, right? So now when he goes out there and date, he's expecting for the woman to be like his mom. His mom did everything. She was raking the leaves and taking out the trash and doing all this stuff. So when you say, oh, women have these feminine qualities and these gender roles, well, he saw mom doing everything. So now you don't get no cookie for knowing how to cook and cook well. You don't get no cookie or appreciation. You don't get no cookie or appreciation for knowing how to wash the dishes. They'll laugh in your face.
So I got a question for the women. Are these the types of men that you are accepting? Are you accepting these type of men who are not capable? Are y'all getting with dudes that can't change tires and paint their nails and want to wash dishes? Is these the type of men that you are engaging with? That's the question. Who's doing that?
I
Raise your
am
hand,
getting
please.
with men who want to wash the dishes.
That's a good question.
But the painting nails.
what color they
I
get they
no, I've
tips?
never dated anyone who could paint their nails.
Pause.
But in my relationship, we both share most of the duties: washing dishes, cooking. Some days I cook, some days he cooks, some days he washes the dishes, some days I wash the dishes. Like we share those things.
I mean, to answer your question, Trev, I'm not a woman,
He was
obviously.
asking women.
I would say the women who are at the descending from their peak value should be doing every goddamn thing in the book to try to get hitched. I mean, think about it. Kevin Samuels said it best: winter is coming, and a lot of y'all are gonna die alone. So if you are at the bottom of your peak value, you should be changing tires, fixing stoves, changing light bulbs, mowing lawn, all kind of shit to try to get out of the fucking weather.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Ty, I'm not sure if you got that case on there.
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's go ahead and try to get Pearl in there. And True.
Motherfucking mic drop.
Only to you, darling.
Go ahead, Pearl. Pearl, True.
To answer the question, what would happen if we remove the gender roles? So I looked at it like as a perspective of a teacher. If I have my students inside of a class and it's a small group, everybody has a role, right? We all remember that in school. Like somebody was a timekeeper, somebody was a note taker, somebody was the presenter, the materials collector. Like everybody had a role, right? If you remove those gender roles, you remove the rules, you remove the structure. Like Darwin was saying, you remove the order, you dismantle the foundation. It creates chaos. And I think it's a way for people to run away from accountability and responsibility that are tied to those roles. And it gives them a false sense of, yeah, I can do what I want, how I want. I don't think we should really be like going back and forth about like who washing dishes and who not. Because that's always going to be subjective to how everybody's situation is. I don't think it's necessarily a right or wrong for that. It's got to get done. Like, if I'm a single woman right now, I'm not going to starve. Like, my house is, or if I was a man, right? My house is not going to be dirty, right? Because I'm looking for a woman. I'm not going to starve. So we're already going to be self-sufficient. I don't really think that's a conversation. I think a lot of the times what's hidden behind all of that is like masculine, feminine. Is she modest? Is she still humble? Is she still passive, nurturing, observant, emotional? We don't care about if you're washing the dishes and who cooking and cleaning. Like, just for the man. Okay, he changing the tire. He able to pay the bills, but is he confident? Is he assertive? Is he directive? Is he communicative? Is he balanced? Is he logical? Right? So these are the discussions that we should be having. Like, I don't really care who clean up, because it's got to get done. If we're both sanitary individuals, it's going to happen, right? So that's my take on that. I don't, and again, I think that's the fluidity that we're discussing. It's not like I want to be a man and a man wants to be a woman. It's like, my masculinity and my femininity is not wrapped around who gonna wash the damn dish or who gonna mop the damn floor. Like, it's gonna get done. Now, if I'm in a house with a man or my husband and that's what he dictates or he wants, then I'm part of his program. I just have to fall in. That's what I signed up for. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue that. But as a single person, you still have to be self-sufficient. And again, in a relationship, you got to play your role. Like, we can't keep trying to blur the lines and just say that these things are going to be non-existent, because they're still going to find ways to show up no matter how we try to label or dislabel it. So again, that's just my point. I mean, I'm on stands with that. As far as like gender roles, that's a new thing. I don't know if, because I be trying to do like a little research when I be hearing the title, so I'd be a little more educated on what I be talking about. But this whole gender role title has only been around since like 1955. And technically, when it was around, like, the basis was like the specific things you do to define you as a boy or a girl or a man or a woman, right? And again, maybe that's subjective now because we have this whole alphabet community, and it's like spilled and bled over into everything, where we feel like everything is fluid and open to discussion, but it's not. Certain things are just what they supposed to be. Like I keep saying, tradition and foundation. Those are like the two words I've been saying since I've been coming on these podcasts with y'all: tradition and foundations. So yeah, I think that's where we get mixed up at. It don't matter who cooking and cleaning. Like, y'all gonna establish that. That's a conversation that's, again, individualized and subjective. But behind all of that, are we really dealing with the individual who are meeting again? Is she feminine? Is he masculine? Because if not, I think that's where your dissatisfaction comes in. Because you can have to clean this house and still have a disruption or imbalance in your relationship due to the lack of femininity or masculinity. So I'll land my plane there.
Pearl, I just want to say before anybody else jump on, you are the first person, and it's crazy because you're not even a man, who actually gave a clear idea of what the gender roles are when it comes to femininity and masculinity that had nothing to do with the tasks that individuals do on a day-to-day basis. And that's why we got into this full conversation. And I asked them specifically, what is it that a man is supposed to do and what is it that a woman is supposed to do? You are the first one. I agree with everything you said. That's all I want.
You didn't hear none of us say it's contingent upon what the man asked.
Darwin, what I heard you say is that your sons will never touch a dish.
So
that you would never touch a dish. You was talking about dishes and fixing houses and roofs and building with bricks and stuff like that. She said none of those things. Please.
She didn't have to, but did you not hear me say it was? Isn't it contingent? And I posed the question: isn't it contingent upon what the man expects from the woman he plans to make a suitable wife out of?
And then anybody you went on to say you can be
answer
a master of many skills. Once again, talking about skills and not the individual and what she's bringing to the table as a person, right? The energy she brings to you, the peace she brings to you. You were still talking about skills. Pearl, as I stated, I still stand on my point, is the first person who actually broke it down and what we should actually be talking about. I agree with everything that Pearl,
the only person that you understood.
Just stated. No, I understood everything you said, dog.
So what does it mean when I say it's contingent upon the man who's selecting a woman and what he expects out of her according to the relationship dynamic he wants to have? What does that mean to you?
that is contingent upon his needs. That is based upon his needs specifically. So I don't use the same word that you just used. And I also stated when I was explaining the gender roles thing that it's based upon the individuals in the relationship. I said the exact same thing, and yet we jump with you, you know, how women are not prepared and we are not wives and all of this other stuff. You never talked about the character of a woman. You never teaching your son to wash a dish or not wash a dish or whatever has nothing to do with how he shows up in a relationship as a man.
Actually, it compensates for the character. So for like, if I were vetting you and I say, hey, Todd, I need you to go in and wash those dishes and I need you to fix me a sandwich. You say, oh, no, I don't want to do that. That tells me a lot about your character. It
Right.
tells me
If
that
I said that, if
well,
I said that, right?
exactly. So if I do give you the scenario and the task, I'm able to detect certain qualities in your character. It's going to come out whenever the shit hit the fan.
Understandable.
Exactly.
Once again, Pearl,
So
great job.
Hey, True, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So to answer the question, if we remove the gender roles, what would happen in the Black community? I think it'll continue to evolve because we are having a conversation, and we have, several ladies on here who are conveying their point of how they see relationships functioning. I think the way Ms. Pearl explained a relationship and how it could potentially function is actually probably the best case scenario because we are functioning, capable people, male and female. I personally have never subscribed, and I grew up in a traditional household, but I was taught to do all those things. I knew how to wash clothes and cook and stuff when I was 7, 8, all those things. And it was never like, you a man, you do this. No, you're a person that needs to know how to take care of yourself. So this is what we're teaching you. And it was never like a girl supposed to do this. And it was never like that. Me personally. So I don't subscribe task to sex, me personally. I think though that because of the way relationships have evolved, mainly, and so I asked this earlier on, what has men complained about what we've done in the relationship? No one really answered it. I think that the conversation is more heavy on the female end because of the approach to the way women are facilitating their lives now. And Bo used a word earlier stating fair. And I think the word fairness, I learned at 6 that doesn't really exist. There is no such thing as fairness across the board. We can try to make things equitable, but it is very much up to the individuals. So like to Darwin's point, if I'm in a relationship and my woman is capable of changing a tire, me personally, I would never let any woman I'm with do so because it's the standard of mine. I want to have her covered a certain way. Now she's capable of doing it, and let's just say for whatever reason she was outside of the scope of where I could assist. I wouldn't expect her to stand on the side of the road and not handle business or call. Like that would be stupid. No baby girl, get that thing on there or whichever, right? That just makes sense. So I think that that's where we're probably getting a little stuck. The men are saying, this is what we do, respect what we do because we're men. And then the women are saying, we do, that's cool. But where do we go from here? Like, where does it evolve? And I think that there's room for that. I heard
true. What do you? If just tell me if you hear this too. This is what I hear. Sort of like what you said, but just a little bit more of this. Hey, babe, you carried a 10-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna carry it at 100-pound. And she's like, oh no, give me the 100-pound. You carry the 10-pound. Or let's both carry the 100-pound. But it's only 100 and a 10. Just carry the 10. Oh no, I don't want you to degrade my role.
I don't hear that. What I hear, based on, because I don't know if you were on, and I'm only using Bo because Bo said it, and she said it profoundly and clearly. There is a shift in energy where women are now assessing their position in society in the relationship, because for a long time it was assigned. I'm a woman, so I cook and clean. That's what I do. I take care of the kids. But what I believe they're saying is that with the newfound task of facilitating a career, facilitating a job, and all of these components, are we still operating under this same system because of the 12-hour shifts, because of whatever? So I don't hear what you said.
Well, why do one woman just come clean and say, hey, look, I got to work too, and I'm too tired to be coming out home and doing the typical duties that a woman would traditionally do. So maybe we should split it down the middle. Why don't
That's
they
what
just say that?
that is what they're saying. That I think that's
That's
exactly what
literally what we said.
that's
None
exactly
of
what
y'all ain't. None of
That,
y'all. Well, I
oh
wasn't here
my
when they said it. I
God,
came
you
late.
weren't listening, Darwin. Your
they
listening ears, they don't be turned on.
I came
This
in
man
conversation late.
trolling.
Literally,
This man
what
trolling,
I
and I
said.
swear to God, this man is trolling the. I
He
swear
was
for the
telling me,
Lord.
Bo.
Oh,
but,
Jesus.
but to your point, Darwin, I said that's cool. I don't think it's a fluidity thing. I don't like the fluidity term. I think it's maturity and I think it's evolution. I think that just currently we're moving forward and a lot of things in society are done differently. It's not about painting nails, not about male and female. It's about we want our relationship to be successful. How will this look in our household? What are you capable of? What am I capable of? I'm assigning this task to you because that works for us regardless. Like it's not a lack of femininity or lack of masculinity, in my opinion. But I also understand people who are cool with I'm male, I do this, you woman, you do this. There's room for both. What I
But you do agree that there's still a gender role, even in the essence of both having to carry the toll of bringing an equal amount of resources, because then now it's up to the man to decide. Okay, yeah, I will help wash dishes. I will help clean. I will do it. That is a matter of a leadership decision at that point, right? Because then he could say, "Hey, look, maybe I should increase the revenue or increase the output of work so I can generate more, so you can sit down." Or, I'm comfortable in my career. Yeah, you need to go out and work. That's a matter of leadership. That's a general dynamic right there. Because now this man is exercising a decision at a critical point in on how the resources are going to be brought in versus how the tasks in-house are going to be handled. Somebody's got to make an overwhelming decision at that point. So we're still back at a gender role versus who gets the overriding decision making on how you're going to do that.
Well, I'll answer it like this because this is how I heard it and this is how I think. We can't be moved at our position. It's not an economical thing. I think relationships, honestly, if you want, in my opinion, I don't think the relationship ever belongs to the woman. I think the relationship is the man's vision, the man's foundation, the man's responsibility.
Exactly.
Right? So basically, from that standpoint, me wanting to be with her, I have to already have an idea of how I want things to function. My job from that point is to convey to her what that looks like and then see where she wants to participate.
And that role starts before you even start saying hello.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So, but what I think, again, a lot of women are saying they don't want to be deduced to just the task of cooking and cleaning. There needs to be, in their minds, fairness. Fairness may look like split washing the dishes or however it goes down. Shoot, buy some paper plates. So on the weekend, y'all just eat off of that joint and we toss it and nobody washes it.
Who came up with the concept that a woman doing the stuff at home is a reduction or is a negative, has a negative associate? Why can't we
Feminism.
say that as a matter of elevation? Of being able to, can you imagine any man on this planet imagine walking into a home smelling the smell of fruit and the what is the lemon smell, the pine smell of that's something that's a powerful thing that a woman can do to a household, just giving you that peace and quiet and that comfort in the house. Well, for some reason, we turn that concept into a negative thing. And whenever a woman is asked to do it, it's a matter of deducing or degrading her. Whenever it should be a matter of elevation.
It's almost as if women's words don't mean the same thing to men. What is so hard about hearing a woman say, I have to work too. I am tired as well. It's not degrading. I'm tired. I am exhausted. I've been having to deal with stuff all day as well as you.
Go to sleep.
What is it about a woman's anatomy that makes you think that we have this special burst of energy that you don't have that makes us walk in the house and be like, man, I really want to make this house smell like pine sol right now. Like, what's in the... It's not degrading. What is degrading is that when women stay home and they are stay-at-home mothers or wives, and you do not see their labor in the home as equal to yours, that is degrading. That is devaluing her, because that labor is just as important as your labor that it takes to make money, because her labor produces the things needed to make you comfortable at home, just like the things that you do at your job produces the money that makes it comfortable for her to be at home. That is when women feel degraded. That is when you devalue a woman's labor. That is where that comes from. But I want men to stop thinking that women are going out here and getting these jobs and getting these careers because, like, we want to compete with men. The country literally tells us if you do not work, you do not eat, and you will be homeless. What?
Well, I think y'all are over exaggerating that as well.
Brain that tells you that a woman wants to get up and just listen. I want to work my whole life away. No American wants to do that, but capitalism says, get your stupid ass up and go get an education or some training and go get a job so you can make some money. Otherwise, you're going to be on Skid Row somewhere begging for money. We're not competing with you. We are just trying to survive just like you. It's dumb.
And it's not even a matter of survival. I think a lot of y'all on this panel lying like shit.
Okay.
A lot of y'all are living above y'all means. Y'all want these crazy ass lifestyles, and then now y'all want to use the excuse that both of y'all got to make an income. I just went back to Alabama. I visited Mississippi not too long ago this year, and there's people that's living together, and they don't even make a fraction of what y'all making, and they making it work. I think y'all don't. Whenever y'all say that, oh, both of y'all have to work, y'all are not compensating for all the frivolous bullshit expenses that y'all accommodate yourself with for the lifestyle you want. If we really dissect this thing, I guarantee you, a lot of y'all rent and mortgages is over 40% of y'all income. And challenge me if I'm wrong. Bo, you even told your life story on here, so you might not even want to start. You don't even want, and I'm not going to even go there.
I don't want to start. What don't I want to start?
I'm not going to even go
What
there.
am I not wanting to start? Let's start.
No,
Actually, press the start button. Somebody press the start button. Let's start. What you need to say?
Well, y'all had an issue getting out of your granddaddy's house, where y'all could have just went into another apartment and it literally broke your marriage. I mean, just stuff like that. That's a matter of a lifestyle choice that is unnecessary.
One story, one situation.
Well, how many situations do I need more than one? Like all of that, I think that was suffice. You would need
full context to know why that marriage really failed.
I think you gave us enough. I think we sit up here for 4 or 5 hours dissecting that thing.
One situation that happened that was not.
But regardless of the fact, but can we at least agree that more often than not, especially here in the United States, if a person makes $50,000 a year, they probably spend $100,000 a year. They spend damn near double what their income. If we really want to be honest on how we're using our money to try to use this bullshit excuse that both people have got to work. I've seen people come in this country from different countries that don't got shit, and they work and they living in the same house making that thing work. And all they got is a Netflix subscription. All the other shit is turned off. But we got to have Prime. We got to have fucking BET Plus. We got to have Peacock, Tubi, and all this other shit. We got to have a fucking Amazon Kindle account so we can read all these sage books and all. Like, come on, man.
Darwin,
let's be honest about this lifestyle thing.
But all of those people in the family work, correct?
But still,
that was the argument.
It's in the same
household. All of them work, or it's just the man and the women get to stay at home? Because that was the argument.
My argument is that depending on the demographics, depending on the location, you can actually live under one income. Y'all just don't live like that.
We're talking about in general in the United States of
In the
America.
United States,
In
in
general, in the
general,
United
even
States,
people who
you
come
can
over
live under
here,
one household, one man working. Y'all women just don't want to live like that. You
that's not
don't.
even how the
Y'all are
foreigners
spoiled
do it.
shit.
That's a
All
lot.
of them work. Even if they don't have a lot, all of them work. Everybody got to work. That's
Yep.
just what it is.
Yep.
If you want to live comfortably,
Anybody,
everybody
is
got to work.
anybody here
Now,
from
if
the
you want to
South?
live in a trailer park up the street, that's your life. And that's what you want to do.
What's wrong with
Maybe
that?
you can live off of that one income
What's
for
wrong
the
with that?
average person. But if you want to live a
What's wrong
comfortable,
with a double wide?
average,
Anybody
I'm
ever heard
talking
of a
about
double
not
wide,
even
single
going
wide
on
trailer?
trips all the time, regular life where you could just pay for the things you need to pay for and sustain
That
a
let
good
me know y'all
lifestyle. Both
spoiled.
people need to work. Like, that's not a lie. That's reality.
Y'all spoiled,
I
man.
think that
Anybody
you're
from the
lying
South on here?
with this
Anybody from the
whole
South?
idea that doesn't have to
Anybody
happen.
live in the backwoods in the country? You ever seen a single wide trailer?
Bro, ain't nobody
Yes,
Man,
trying to
I
live
I've
in
had
no
seen a single
backwoods
wide
trailer,
trailer.
man.
I've seen that some trailers look nice. That's what I said. That's up to them. I've
get you
seen that. My aunt,
get you a
I
single
had a
wide,
aunt
double wide
that lived
trailer,
in
go down
Texas.
south, Arkansas,
Yes.
Alabama, Mississippi, and call it a day on
Do you live
45,
in
50K.
Mississippi? Where you live? Because I live in
We
Chicago.
don't even live in no backwood trailer in Mississippi. And there's a
Thank
reason
you.
for that. I don't even know
I
why you're
don't
sitting up
live
there
there.
capping.
I live in
You don't want to
Chicago.
live in no trailer.
You making my point, Sweeney. The key word, I
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
to live
live
in
in
no
no trailer. That's the whole
Most
point I'm making.
Americans don't
It's a
Most
though.
Americans
matter
don't want
of
to live in a
it's a
trailer.
matter of what you want to do. It's not a matter of you can't. So
Bro,
this notion that
living in
we
a trailer
cannot
is not
live
an
under
American life.
one
Living,
person household is
Bruiser,
false. It's
Bruiser,
that you
living in a
don't
Come on
want
now.
trailer.
to do it.
You're
Bruiser,
being unrealistic and you're
hold
lying to
on.
yourself
Okay, all
because
right.
nobody
Hold on,
wants
wait.
to. Most people don't want to live like that.
Living in a trailer is not an American life. That's the reason why. No American dream is, oh man, we live in a double wide trailer. It's considered poor for a reason. That's what severely poor
You're
people
making
live.
my point.
Bro, no, it's you're talking about when people grow up in this country, they want to live the American dream. Nobody's American dream is living in a
You're still making, you're actually tripling down on my point.
bro. I'm not making
You
your
have
point.
this fantasy of how you want to live. You're
Hold
making my
on.
point that it's
Bro,
not a matter of you can't live it. You can't
bro,
live together under one household where a man is a provider and is maybe a frugal lifestyle. It's that you don't want to do it.
bro. Here's the thing. That's not the American dream. Nobody
Man, I
wants to
wish y'all
live in
could see
a
how I
trailer.
live whenever
That's the same. And you
I
and
was
you
young,
made
boy.
and you made money to get out of that. Nobody said you didn't stop at trailer and say, you know what? This is exactly where I should be. This is the American dream. To live in a double
This
wide trailer
that
with
that
my wife.
the
That's
issue
really
wasn't
honestly.
the issue wasn't where I was living in the lifestyle. The issue I had was that the women ran the men off. And the women
That's
chose
not what. That's
government.
not.
Hold on. The women chose government assistance to keep the groceries and the lights on.
That's not true.
They wasn't even living on 40K. They was living on fucking, hey, cuz, can you claim my kids? On some shit like that.
How does the
Y'all,
conversation keep coming
y'all
back
are
to
so
that one
bougie.
point?
Y'all are
Can
so
we
bougie as
ever
hell.
leave government assistance out of the conversation? Can we ever not? Can we ever have a conversation where that is not brought up? I don't know why you all
I'm
use
sorry
it as
that's
a
a trigger
means
for
to
you.
degrade and demean people. But
What did the government do for you?
what is wrong with
Darling, it's
having
actually
a
a trigger for you. That's why
conversation
you
Hey, I
about
always
did have
bring
another
it up.
question. I did have another question for you guys. Go ahead and get this question in.
Double wide trailer. What the hell wrong with this man?
Are men less respected today because women are more independent?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes back
It
to
just showcased
what we were
that.
saying earlier with the gender roles, because women have said, okay, well, look, I'm helping, I'm taking care of these bills, I'm contributing more. You're going to have to compensate for other things. That's pretty much what was conveyed just now, or at least that's what we heard. And if that's not what you meant, then and everyone understood it as such, then it could be the communicator. So, and it's not just here. I hear this from many women, and we see it that women just don't value men, right? And it's not to say that there aren't some vast improvements that men can do, because there's certain things that we should do. I do believe that there are some men who provide less utility than their fathers and certainly our grandfathers did. And it's something we have to work on. I make sure that my son know how to change a tire. I make sure that he know how to cook and everything, right? I make sure my daughter knows how to do all that stuff too. So whereas no matter what it is, if they are in a position to where they have to survive, they can handle it. However, they do understand that there are some things that are more suitable for men and some things that are more suitable for women. Dishes, I mean, that's trivial to me. I think that that can go kind of anyway. I don't think that dishes per se, I don't do dishes, but I'm not saying that a man who does dishes necessarily is feminine, right? There's a lot of people who have that as literally their career as or job at least to wash dishes. So you got to get with your particular spouse and figure out what it is that you're going to do. But functionality wise, I would certainly say that the heavy lifting should be done by the man, and the things that are easy to do, we normally leave to the women.
Because of Ty, I'm gonna say yes. So normally I will argue the point, but Ty's transition to whatever this iteration is makes me believe that women value men less because of the independence. Ty, you swayed me over to the other side today. Maybe tomorrow I'll change my mind.
I would say
Can
this,
you
man.
elaborate, Marcus? I'm sorry, darling.
Yeah, because when we was talking about the gender roles, you said the woman is cutting the grass and filling the gas up, and it's okay for men to paint their nails and
I
all
never
of these
said that.
things that
Now
I
you
never thought
lying,
would come
Marcus.
from you.
I never
Oh,
said it was okay for men to paint their nails. I never said that.
Okay. Well, I'll take that back. I'm
See,
not
you
trying to
putting
lie.
everything on my
I
shoulders. Let me
might
ask you
have
this though:
confused
how
you.
does any
I
of
might
those
have confused
things equal up to a man not being respected by his woman? Because respect doesn't come down to the things that you can do for me; it's how I view you, right? So if you still give me covering, if I still feel protected in your presence, if I still feel like you're a leader, if I still feel like I can take your guidance, I'm going to respect you. Regardless if I help you shovel snow or cut grass, or if I have to teach you in Darwin situation to change a tire. That doesn't mean I
Okay.
don't
Nah,
respect you.
So I'm back to
I
50-50. All right. So you're
nah.
not where I thought you was going.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
y'all not listening. That's what
Yeah.
I'm
You know
saying.
You're
what?
not where I
I
thought
feel
you was
like
going.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like that's cap because so what you're really saying right now is that if you got with a dude who can do none of these things, right? Where you just have to split 50-50, he can't change a tire, he can't do none of this stuff. You can't live the soft life. And then your next dude does all this and got you breathing easy. You're not going to offer him more respect. There's no way you can say that with a straight face. Ain't no way.
Trev, I
Ain't no
never
way.
said that the guy couldn't do it. I said that we both can do these things. I never said either one was lacking anything. That's where y'all
So you
keep
don't
going
feel
with
like
this. Because I
so you
said
don't
it's a
feel like
50-50, now someone can't do it. I never said they couldn't.
Look, let's try to
What?
get back to the new topic though.
No, see, our men
respected. That's where we were at. I literally asked if she would respect someone before,
Well, you don't want
that's
to kind
married.
of
You
put it on
said,
her
would I
because
respect someone who
she gonna
I
speak
got.
doesn't
from.
do it?
All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And I had to do all of those things. I
Wait a
never
minute.
said
All right.
in
So
my
here's the issue.
situation that they had to do all of those things. If a man can't do anything, what am I respecting? If you can't do anything, then you can't lead me.
Well, it ain't even
Then you
that.
still need guidance from your home.
It
But
ain't
in
even that.
my
It's not
scenario,
even that
I
extreme
specifically
though.
stated that it's not that neither person cannot do things. It's just we live in a society today where most people have to share responsibilities.
It's not even that extreme. If you can do, we live in a society, and you just gotta take yourself out of it and stop bullshit. We live in a society where women, if they can do the same thing a man can do, if they can produce at the same rate, they're gonna have less respect for their peer. If he becomes a peer financially, especially financially, she's not gonna have the same respect. I don't know why we playing around it. I think the
no,
That's
guys
not
who I
true.
think the guys who was in the fucking underground and shit, digging for coal and all those other oil mines and stuff, where they done lost their lives when the ground caved in on them. soldiers don't die in war trying to create this society where women can actually blossom into independent women. Didn't compensate for the fact that y'all were going to spew out of your mouth, oh, we didn't need no man. So you damn right we get less respect whenever y'all become independent. Let's stop acting like that's not the narrative that y'all been running with ever since y'all came out of the floodgates with a paycheck in y'all hand. So let's just stop tripping, man. Y'all even flock to the top percent now. There's a fucking male loneliness epidemic that took place just because you became independent, and you overlooking a great deal of men in the market, and the bottom half of it is just getting cut out. So let's not act like y'all are not raising the bar and raising the expectations and not having any respect for anybody who are adjacent or below you. So let's just be real. You
That's
can
not
take
true.
yourself out of it and be real. And if you got to live by the code, I get it. You got to sit up here and live by
It's
the
not,
damn code.
I'm not living by the code. I'm telling you based on experience, and I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about other women that I know. Now, I will give you this, that there are women that think like that. There are women that don't have respect for men if they make less. There are women like that. Just like there are men that have specific and very strict roles that they want a woman to follow. There are people like that, but there are also a group of women who do not value their man based off of the amount that they make. I know them. All of them
Okay.
make more than their man,
Okay,
but you can't tell that they even do that because they still show that man respect. They never put that man down.
Let me do an
It's not a
intelligence test.
disrespectful situation.
Let's say your son is 19 years old and he is well on his way out of the door to go and date, but he makes 35K. Are you going to tell him, hey baby, you're not going to be respected, or are you going to tell him he's going to be respected? A simple
He's
question.
gonna be respected. What do you mean? He's 19, making $35,000. You're gonna do well. You're only gonna go up from there. Your scenario, Darwin, doesn't even make sense. Do you know how much I made coming out of college at 21? I didn't make 35K. I made 100% commission. That means I made zero sometimes, nothing. So coming out at 19, making $35,000 to another 19-year-old girl, you creme de la creme. Shoot, you're going to be extremely respected. Now I'm going to teach him not to date girls who only want him for his money and what he's going to potentially make in the future. That wasn't even a good example. Now maybe a man who is 45, 55, and he only making 25K or 35K. Maybe then we can have a conversation and you might run into women that don't respect him, but a respectable woman who values him for more than that will understand that I could take that 35K, add it to my money, and maybe help you make more money, and I'm still going to give you that respect. That just doesn't fly with me. Those are my morals or how I grew up or the women that I know. So I can't sit here and advocate for the, Shaniquas of the community and say that all women are like that. I won't. I'm sorry. I don't know them.
I get it. You're going to live by the code. That's cool. Die on that sword if you want to.
I just seen it happen between you two. And to answer the question, are men less respected because women are independent? I think the energy in society would say yes, that men are less respected. And it's mostly coming from what I observe to be the challenge of the relevance of men. I don't think anybody is really ultimately independent, men included in that. But I just watched Darwin and Ty do it. Basically, what I interpreted is that Darwin did an over simplification and painted with a broad brush and narrowed it down to money and what men are supposed to produce. And then that gives automatic respect, which I know for a long time, that's what's been painted in the minds of men, that you're respected to what you can garner in resources. And ultimately, if you do that and you do that well, that's all you need to do. I would disagree. I believe that a man should be an optimal male. And if you have what I consider optimal is that he performs at his highest level, whatever that is. His level of education, his ability to facilitate and garner resources, his ability to function as an adult. But what I do believe happens in current day is you got a lot of males who are functioning below subpar levels. So it's hard to recognize, well, if you're male, man, and you barely know how to speak English, or you don't even know how to book a hotel without some level of assistance, where you have young ladies who are doing these things, but with ease, that I believe is the challenge. That's what I've observed. So the respect is not the fact that the money is lacking. The respect is the fact that males are walking around pretending to be men, but not really knowing how to function as an adult that can be respected. That's what I see.
But true, I would also add, because even Trev kind of alluded to it when he asked Ty the question, would you be respect a man that can't do any of those things, right? And that's what I was trying to jump in on. I'm like, why is it that anytime we talk about this, the man got to be completely incompetent? Because I would ask Ty, let me ask Ty the question in a different way. Would you respect a man that can do all of those things and would do all of those things?
Yes.
That's what I don't get. I don't get the question, because the way I phrase it, at least I phrase it, a man should be functioning at his absolute best.
Right, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's why I was adding the context to what you said, is because every single time, like, the question is asked, when women are asked this question, they're asked the question in a way of, what if he doesn't know how to do shit? Like, what if he's just incompetent, and it's across the board, rather than, hey, if your man know how to do all of this, on top of that, know how to do everything you know how to do, would you respect him if he chose, if he could do all of those things and you can do all of those things, and you say, hey, look, we both gonna do all of these things?
And
Well,
that's
I've been in a lot
yeah.
of conversations in a space of where women would say, if he had, I think it's a matter of having all of the intangibles and all this other stuff, but it doesn't necessarily measure up financially. Would she give him a shot or consider him as somebody they would date? And the women would more often say no.
So I want to point out something. The question literally says, are men less respected today because women are more independent? And it doesn't specify what they don't respect. It doesn't it gives zero parameters. Like, it doesn't give any qualifiers at all. And I want people to notice what by men was brought up, and it was automatically money. I mean, they tell on themselves every single time. It is something that men care about. And men, and I said this last night, men who tell women their experiences, it's unfair unless you got a coochie and unless you date men. If you don't have a coochie and you don't date men, you cannot tell a woman what her experience is, what her preferences are, and what her standards are. And I am so sorry. I really apologize to you men who keep getting those women that do not respect you as a man, but only respect you as your money, because you are more than your money. But I'm sorry that you keep getting women, and you all keep finding those women that only value you for your money. That is not women in general. I do not come across many women like that. They do exist. I do nails for a living. I have come across women for the last 20 years. I have heard the stories. More often than not, these women still respect men, whether they be independent or not, because I can guarantee you, as many women that I have, because listen, my services cost a lot of money, a lot. And as many women as I come across that make a lot of money, they still respect men, period. So no, we do not respect you more just because we have to go to work. That's dumb. You all think that women are somehow in competition with you, and because we think we're better than you, we don't respect you. That is just not true about women in general who work, especially the women that make a lot of money. Y'all got to stop watching talk shows and TV shows and movies that keep telling y'all this. And also, y'all got to stop messing with them 20-somethings that don't know they ass from their mouth, and and all they want is money. That's a young woman's game. Older women, we something different. But y'all listen, hang on to them young girls. Here, keep doing it.
Well,
I
I
also
don't have
have
to
that
use
that says a
movie.
lot about the men who are attracting and only running into those type of women who are going after you for your money. How are you showing up in the world that's how you continuously, or that's what you are attracting to you? You are what you attract. If you constantly go out and all you're doing is showing what you provide monetarily wise, then that's what you're going to attract to you, a woman who wants you for that. If you show
So
up differently, you'll receive a different result.
Well, I don't have to
I
use.
definitely mentioned a bunch of different attributes aside from money. Money is absolutely part of it, but there was plenty of other things that I presented aside from that. But the point is that women recognize this as utility. And if you don't provide utility, then you are not respected. This is a fact. This isn't something that we pulled out of thin air. This isn't something that I don't know who's dating 20-year-olds on the panel, but you should stop um, if that's the case. But I don't think it's the case. But what I'm saying is we've listened to grown men talk about this, not just on podcasts, definitely on plenty of podcasts where they will present money as a barrier to entry. We can't act like there's not some type of barrier when we're talking about money. That's just what it is. All these women that we see on here they keep talking about the $100,000 mark, and that's not just what I use. I also have many friends who are women who don't have any vested interest to lie to me. So I understand that, and I see it happen. And I talk to a lot of men who are in these relationships too. And maybe the women on the panel don't, but there's a very large portion of women who care way too much about utility. That's just what we've been reduced to. We've been objectified. Just like women feel like they've been objectified sexually, men have been objectified as utility. And you are only as good as what you can produce. And women are behaving as this is not the case, but it damn sure is. Otherwise, most of these men wouldn't be getting ignored in the first place. Most of them would be good fathers. Most of them would be good husbands. Most of them do care about women, but it doesn't matter. They get no action anyway. So women are saying this by their actions on a regular basis.
Yeah, and
I
it's
didn't
not. It's
disagree
not
with
just.
that. I agreed with all of that. I included that. So I don't disagree with you, Trev. I just think that a broader conversation needs to be had because I don't think that most women don't respect men just because they have to go and work. But
Well,
yet, all of those other things happen.
I will say this though, Bo. I think it is kind of unfair to, especially to us on the fellas on the panel, right? Because we talked to plenty of women that have also came up on this panel, right? And like these are real people that we talk to. You know what I mean? Across all of us over the last 3 or 4 years, fellas, can we say we done probably talked to well over like damn near like at least 500 women, if not her. And what we've noticed is that if you start asking the questions 3 layers deep, it always comes back to money. Like we're not pulling this out our ass. It always comes back to money for the vast majority of them. When we start to ask, okay, so you know what I mean? Now, what we tend to notice is once it gets to money and we start to ask the questions about the money, then they clam up and oftentimes they try to be more aloof with it and be like, oh, well, it kind of depends, or they try to dance around it after the fact, but it always comes down to money. And I'm sure that Trev, Bruiser, Marcus, and JR can all attest to this, that we talk to enough women to where we're really not just pulling it out our ass.
Most
I know
definitely,
you're
and
not. But what's the
and
origin story?
I can attest, bro. Like even outside of the panel, you know, I've had the luxury to be face to face, you know, on calendar meetings and all that kind of shit. And I can tell you, it's most definitely about money. You know, any way you want it, you can try to get around it all you want. The respect, you know, if you ain't got the money, man, that's the money is the new respect currency. And it just is. And I'm gonna just tell you like this: I didn't have to get it from TVs. I didn't have to get it from movies and none of that other shit. I don't witness stories. I done been part of conversations where marriages have fell apart because a woman elevated in her career and she became even more masculine and she started to earn more than a man and she didn't want to listen to him. These are this happens at a high rate, and actually, whenever a woman starts to out earn a man, the likelihood of divorce increases 2 times. This is a fact. This is a statistical fact. So there's a matter of lack of respect in that dynamic that arises whenever the salary levels differ in a way where she's earning more. It just is. And it happened. Not, I wouldn't say it wasn't like this before because women weren't working, but at some point, whenever women were allowed to work, you start seeing a lack of respect whenever they start smelling themselves and be able to bring in their own paycheck. And then up until dating apps, we're starting to see a new currency, the height currency. We're starting to see a lack of respect for guys who are shorter than 6 feet tall. The more technology and the more restrictions that are lifted to allow a woman to exercise her preference at a way to where she can nitpick what she wants to choose and have a lack of respect for it, the more you're able to see this more evident. And it's just in our fucking faces every day. And there's no way you fucking can get around it. I don't know why we making this spectacle of what's true and what guys are. Why there's a fucking male loneliness epidemic for a reason. There's so many factors that's causing it. Respect is most definitely one of them. So please, let's just stop the bullshit.
I think it's also a lack of being able to communicate clearly, to hold good intellectual conversations, to actually come and have a personality outside of their money. And that's what a lot of these men are running into. And it also has something to do with technology, right? They can put themselves out there. They look nice. They have good, nice things, and women like them for that. But once they get past the money, there is nothing else there. It's just like women who only have their beauty or their body. And then once you try to get, into a good conversation or learn their morals and the values, they have nothing to offer. That's also the issue. We have a lot of people nowadays who have nothing but what they have.
What if I told you we live in society where your height, where the you don't even get communication because you're being filtered by your height. You're automatically disqualified. You're automatically excluded from the algorithm of even being discovered because of a height, and you're not even getting conversation because you don't even earn enough to even have the conversation. You're not even getting access
outside
on a level.
Get off the dating app and stop trying to let somebody swipe right or left on you and meet somebody in real life.
But my point is,
can you at least address
that women are filtering men before they even able to establish an intellectual conversation on a level to suggest that she should even deal with them because they're already disqualifying them based on these factors: money, height, and all other disqualifiers. Can we at least admit that?
We can admit that in the dating world of today of dating apps. But in real
it's not
life,
just dating apps.
In real life, meeting someone on the street or at different events, and a guy, he might be short, a woman might instantly look at him and be like, I don't know. He'll start talking, make you laugh a little bit, catch you with a few little lines. He starts talking about something that's interesting, and now he has your attention. You have way more of a chance of getting a woman's attention who usually would not date you by meeting them in real life and actually having a conversation.
What happens next after the attention? What does she say?
Say it again.
What happens after he get her attention?
What you mean? What happens after
she gets her attention?
It's many different things that can happen. It's not just one response. When the last time you dated somebody?
Why y'all can't just be honest, man?
What? I'm being honest. It's many different things.
I don't think it goes down like.
She can walk away. It depends on how how he approaches.
How many times y'all seen women
certain men know how to approach women? They're smooth. They have more charisma. They're funny. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's women that are out here dating men that they never thought they would date just because they caught their attention in some other way. Like, I always feel like we always act like these things don't also happen. And for a lot of these men who are incels or whatever you want to call them, who don't find women, they have no personality. They don't have the charisma. They aren't. You said what?
That's bullshit. See, you think incel means they don't have no personality or charisma. Incel is involuntary celibate. You just don't hit the signals that make you most desirable so you can get laid. It can be height. You can have $250,000, but if it's an overwhelming majority of women that want you to be 6 feet taller, you can become an incel. You don't even know it.
It's almost like you make $250,000. You gonna find somebody that like
I
Somebody like
that's where we're living in two different
but that's the
realities.
reality
Then
of it, and that's literally based off of what y'all were saying.
Almost like
But
y'all got incel. Y'all got
think about the
incel.
white boy.
Are you a woman?
Y'all are
Think about the young white boy.
misrepresenting that term incel. Incel doesn't mean this McLovin with quadriplegics and he's talking.
Byron, are you a
remember
woman?
the guy who like shot up the streets and he was like the head of the incels and he made videos on Facebook before he killed these people and then killed himself? Do you remember him? Do you know what I'm talking about, Darwin? The guy, it was this white young boy. He was in his 20s. And he kept saying he was a part of like the incel community and he didn't understand why women didn't like him. He wasn't even unattractive. He wasn't extra short. It looked like he had his life together. But
I've seen several of those cases. I was in the military. We'd had incels in the military.
Okay, no, but this was on the news because he killed people and then killed himself. All I'm trying to do is drive a point here. He is what I'm thinking about, right? When I think about those people. They look nice. They look like they have a chance until they open their mouths. He had no personality. He had no charisma. He had.
I think that was the episode on Law and Order.
You're talking about one specific person.
That was the episode on Law and Order.
No, it wasn't. I'm not talking about.
Listen, I don't disagree that you saw this movie or this article.
It's not a movie. It actually happened.
Well, guys. I'm not disagreeing that guy wasn't an incel. What I'm saying is that doesn't define all incels. Incels can be a guy that has he has a jawline. He doesn't have a height. It's his height. He can be 5'2", and that dude can be a fucking incel. He can have everything else hitting on all cylinders. Now, overwhelming amount of the time that he runs into a woman, he's gonna get rejected because of his height. Yeah, there's other things that's gonna happen. His eyes might be too far apart, or it fucking just things that y'all are knocking guys for. These little ass nitpicking things y'all are knocking guys for. It's not giving them even any shot at getting into a meaningful conversation to see if you might consider for a relationship. Y'all are doing that, and I don't know why y'all are being disingenuous. They created a show called Pop the Balloon, and you were able to see it in real time. The guy had a white belt, not a black one. He got popped because he fucking had the wrong color belt didn't match his outfit.
And it's just like the man who popped the balloon because they didn't like the woman's shoes. Or they felt like her toe color wasn't cute enough.
I get it.
In those
type
of situations,
it can go both ways.
Like
what I'm saying is it happens more often than not.
It's not real life. That's not everyday life. You going to
how do you explain male loneliness? You think we just coming out of the woodwork just incapable of holding conversations and having necessary
Some men are. And how do we know? Because we've met them. Okay.
No, they're not.
Can I get in there?
Because y'all ain't raising these men.
Can I get in there?
That's what you're saying. Y'all are raising these men to be incapacitated.
I don't have a boy. I haven't raised it.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
I think you're making it too template based, right? So this is what I've seen, and you guys can help me, right? When you're talking to women typically speak from the highest place of desire. So basically, for example, you'll ask a woman if you met a man and he couldn't fly you first class, but she's used to flying first class, she immediately rejects it because she's speaking from the place of actual comfort. But to Ty's point, the reality is outside, women are dealing with normal people. Like, this is just what it is. If you put the exchange from male to female on an app, you're absolutely going to see them do what they always do. When you give women options of the highest level of what they desire, they're always going to answer, absolutely, I want this, all the time. But the reality is their words will never align with their actions because reality cannot afford them that. I'm outside all the time. I see all kinds of dudes that got women that are respected, that are not making 80,000 or 200,000 or not 6'5". So I think that I hear what you're saying, Darwin, but that's just not a depiction of reality.
Well, when you say these women are speaking from comfort because they don't want to fly economy because I call that speaking from a place of hypergamy. They got a taste of something great and they don't want to go back down to, they don't want to, they got the ride in the front of the bus. Now they don't want to ride in the back of the bus no more.
No,
it's sort of like what happened with integration and in the civil rights time. Once they got a taste of the white man's ice, they don't want to buy from the black man ice. It's a matter of hypergamy. That's all
That
you
is a
said.
complete mischaracterization of sex.
Not
Don't do
hypergamy. This is just what I've observed, and I've talked to tens of thousands of women over my lifetime. When you give them the option, best case scenario, worst case scenario, they always gonna pick best case scenario.
Well, what do you call? There's a term for that.
What is the term?
I'm asking you.
What is the term for that? Female nature. That's the term. Like, this is just what they do. If you say this is what you can have, or you can have this, they typically are going to go for what they assume to be the highest level of value. That's just what I've seen them do.
True. So, wouldn't that be human nature? Because if you do the exact same thing with men and you give them the baddest of the baddest or the everyday woman, they're going to go for the baddest, right? Sure. Unless they can't. That's human nature. That's what people will do. But sure. Like you stated, in everyday life, that doesn't happen. You're going to go for what's around you and what catches your attention.
Well, I wouldn't say it's human nature, because when men is different. That's why we like to use the term hypergamy. So for men, what happens is guys going to go for the best thing, but he's going to choose logically. He's going to choose the best when he knows that he actually qualifies for, or he can actually obtain the best. Women, on the other hand, are going to go for the best, even though they know they don't fucking qualify. Or they're what are they? I'm going to use Trev's playbook, punching outside of their fucking weight class.
But that's what I'm speaking to in the mind of women. From what I've observed, I'm not a woman by any means, right? That's how they depict reality. You're giving a woman the option to experience the best, and then expecting her to say, I don't want to experience the best, but you're giving me the option to do so. That makes no sense in my mind.
See, that's where I disagree. The woman is not given the option to experience the best. That is an illusion.
No, bro,
that is an illusion that she has the option to experience, but she actually don't have that option. And what a lot of guys in this space, and recipes to his soul, Kevin Samuels, his whole mission was to come in and course correct that ideology that was pushing the women, thinking that they actually can experience the best when they can't. They cannot have it all, because a lot of them would just average at best.
Well, you're speaking of something different. I'm saying typically when men are presenting their arguments, they're presenting it in a very binary way. If you can fly first class, sweetie, or economy, which one would you prefer based on the type of man?
Keyword, if you can.
No, but the point is that you gave the option.
What I'm arguing that isn't they think they have the option, but they don't. No, so they won't settle for anything less.
That's an irrelevant point.
So if you draw the parallel, they won't even get on a flight unless they can fly first class, even if they're fucking a shitload of seats in economy. They just won't even fly.
But again, I don't know if we're aligning here. If you're giving the woman the option, in my opinion, I don't believe it's fair to expect that she's going to pick it at the perceived lesser value. It's like if you switch it to men and you say, hey, I got tickets to the floor seats or the nosebleeds. Most dudes that like sports are gonna be like, give me them floor seats. Why? Because it's perceived higher value to sit on the freaking floor. I don't think that it's fair for us to say that when they pick the better option, being presented the better option.
Okay, so they were presented the better
Before y'all go down the road, can we get
Can he finish?
Hold on, what? Let me just land the same thing. Let's try to take it back. Let's take the analogies out of it, because that's confusing things. Let's just look at the dating market, men and women. Let's just say the best option, or whatever you say, the fucking first class ticket is the top 10% man. The problem is that is not actually an option for them, but they think that it is an option, so they will negate any man that is less than, so they can hang on to the illusion that perhaps maybe one day they will get a shot at this option that they can't have. That's my whole point.
I think we're having two different conversations.
We are having two different conversations.
I agree with what you're saying. And I'll simplify it this way. In every metric, there's always a small percentage of something. I don't care what you depict. We're talking about economy based on first class. There's more economy seats than first class. It's always that way across all metrics. So basically what I would conclude is that when we're talking about the mind of women, presenting them with the ability to experience this greater air, they're going to pick that, period. That does not make them wrong. That does not make them wicked. That's just, like Ty said, human nature. And I'll land.
It actually does make them wicked if you look at the outcome of those choices.
I
Please spread the microphone around. Please.
Go ahead and talk, everybody.
I think I understand what True is saying though. What he said is that they're presented. What he's saying is if you give somebody the choice to filter out, and this kind of goes to what Ty is saying, and if you compare it real life to dating apps, if you give somebody the option to filter out all the things they want and desire, they're going to put the filter to be the best possible case scenario. And that's where dating apps get it wrong at, is because once you filter those people out, you no longer see them. Whereas in real life, it's a lot harder to filter out people because people are going to approach you. So you're going to just get what comes to you. Whereas on dating apps, it gives you the option to be like, okay, if I'm going to pick the person that I want to be with, all right, well, I can filter out people under this age, and I can filter out people who make this amount of money. And then I can filter out people who are under this specific height. They're gonna always, to True's point, they're gonna always filter it to be the best case scenario.
I agree with that.
They would never filter it to be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and choose this particular thing, and it's lesser than what they can filter for, which is the best case scenario.
Listen, I agree with the filtering process. I just don't agree that they're actually being chosen.
They're not
after they do the filtering process.
But that's the thing, though. He's not speaking about them actually being chosen. He's just saying that if they're presented the option, all they got to do is be presented it through a dating app that it's even a possibility, and they're going to always filter for the best case scenario.
Well, with that logic, we all agree that the women are actually filtering themselves out of the market completely.
Online, yes.
On apps.
And that's all I was saying. It's also happening in real life too, depending on what our preferences is from interaction by interaction.
Well, you have to understand that, considering the fact that majority of people today are dating through online or through dating apps, it's, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't even talk to each other in real life anymore. So it's actually a little different today, where you can't actually make that determination, considering the fact that the vast majority of people actually date through dating apps.
Well, I can tell you this. I see a lot of lonely women out here at the age of 35, 40, 45, even on the panels. So
now, how you gonna say that and not address what I just said?
No, I'm not disagreeing with it. I've just let it ride.
Because Darwin stay consistent if he is nothing else.
No, I'm just saying that there's nobody who can convince me that when y'all say a person has an option, when I hear the word option, that means something that you have access to, something that you can either choose or be chosen by. If a woman is filtering out all of these guys so she can have the best option, and then that best option is not choosing her, by definition, to me, the way I understand it, that is not even an option.
So what you're saying is 45,
that's why I call it
an
illusion. It's an illusion. You think that as an option. That is not an option. It's an illusion. You think that guy is going to choose you, or you think you can choose that guy. You just can't. It's an illusion.
So are you saying that at 45, I don't have options like that?
I'm convinced.
That was a yes or no question.
I'm not going to speak to you directly.
I'm representing women that are 45. So are you saying that we don't have the option?
No, I don't believe the women have the option. No, a lot of women don't have the options. No, a lot of women that are 40, 45 years old, they just don't have the options that we're speaking on.
Okay.
Hold on,
so
wait,
what do we
Bruce.
say about women that's getting married at 45?
Can I?
Hold on, we gotta let somebody else jump in.
Yeah, let somebody else jump in. Come on, Ty.
Go ahead.
Oh shit! Why would y'all put me on this video camera like that? That's crazy. Hi, everybody. First of all, right? I want to say sincerely from the bottom of my heart, Boheme, Ty, Trev, Darwin, M. White, Sweeney, I missed y'all. I really did. I missed y'all very, very much.
Hey,
I thought that as soon as you came up. I was like, oh, hey, girl.
It's been a very busy couple of weeks trying to get some stuff together, but I very so missed y'all. So hi everyone.
What's up?
Um I
yo,
I want to kind of understand like Darwin, your point. I'm trying to get like an understanding of like how men may feel these things, right? But then it's also kind of like, and I don't mean this to be shady, but the best word that I can think of is like audacity. It's like a man having the audacity almost to tell a woman that she doesn't have these options when she's literally living in her own life, in her own body, right? And it's like, regardless of any person that comes up on here, any person that's in the comments, you can't make me feel less than if I know that for a fact, outside of this platform, if I feel like I'm hot shit and I'm going out and I'm getting that attention and I'm going out and I'm getting pursued, and like I'm speaking for women in general, right? Why is it that that one man will feel like they know what it is to be a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old woman, and that woman themselves can't attest to what she's going through? Because you also have to understand, right? From the women's perspective, you don't know what I know because you aren't pillow talking with your homeboy. You aren't pillow talking with your cousin, your brother, your uncle, whoever. So while he's making it seem like he's hard body with us and he has all these standards with us, he doesn't actually have those standards. Because when he's in the bed laying next to that woman, he's like, oh yeah, shit sweet. I'm going to pay these bills. I'm going to put you in the first class. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But then when he's with you drinking the Glenlivet 18, of course he's like, nah, fuck them bitches. Like, so that's, I don't understand that point of view. What makes you think you know what a woman can and cannot get out of a man for real?
Well, if you were here earlier, the conversation stemmed from the relationship dynamic of a household where there was a man, woman, and married couple, and it derived from there. And then we derived into the options. So the options, the conversation was leaning more against how we was keeping score on what an option was. So maybe perhaps I would think that it doesn't matter if you think you're hot shit. If you can't bring a ring and a husband back to the household, then that's not how we keeping track. Just based off of where the conversation was driven from. But if you're talking about, yeah, I have options because I can go get my back blown out by any Tom, Dick, and Harry, then yeah, we can agree that you got options. But that's
Well,
not what we
no, I'm not
conversate.
even speaking like sexually. Like one thing that I feel like I notice about a lot of men, right? Even when I've talked to y'all, one thing that men take seriously is their money, right? So a lot of women, the at least from what I've heard as far as older women, will always say, a wet ass and an empty wallet don't go together, right? So I look at it like when men are willing to make investments into you, not just bullshit dinner dates, because you can see in videos past. I've said it's BS when a man takes you to STK, which is like, well, you know that, Darwin. That's the steakhouse out here or whatever. That's BS. That's not nothing. But when a man is willing to make real investments into you, right? So that's where I'm coming from in a place of like, when you have access to this man's bank account, whether that's ring or no ring, right? And I'm only saying that because in my generation, at least, it's not necessarily always about marriage. It's about the level of access that attains to what a wife would get. So that's where I'm speaking from. That's all I'm saying. When you're speaking from a place of like, I have a certain level of access to this man, women take that as the same thing as marriage in this day and age, because that's like saying, I have those same privileges, right? So it's like, if he's willing to do the same thing that a wife gets access to, why is that so hard to believe that she can get this out of a man, is what I'm trying to understand. It's like saying, okay, yeah, you may not have the marriage per se, but you're on the deed to the house. you guys are sharing the bank account. You have your bank account and you have access to his fully. You are having access to all of these things, right? And I know everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, when he leaves, you don't have any security. I'm not talking about that. What I'm more so just speaking on right now in this moment is when men try and downplay the fact of, okay, well, he didn't marry you, right? But at the same time, he gave you all of these things, which is the exact same thing besides a last name.
I get it. I get it. You're saying a man was pouring into you just
Mm-hmm.
as he would if you were a wife. There's just no contract and last name involved.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
That is not a knock. That is not a knock against you. You're just caught in a dynamic where a man is being wise and smart and protecting himself. And it's largely because of him being educated on how a lot of men are being screwed. And this is the roadmap a lot of men are taking to be able to make sure they don't get put in the ringer. So a lot of men are taking that dynamic of giving you, you can call it a prototype marriage or a placebo or something similar to it, but not necessarily the state involved. That's totally fine. A lot of guys are moving like that. I got nothing like that. If you want to sit here and we can have an understanding that is an option, and I can rock with that, because I'm all for not just men but both parties being protected and leaving the state out of having a biased decision making ability to destroy one and uplift the other. So I'm with you on that.
Okay.
All right, let's put this.
Consider that be an option.
Let's put this to the test real quick, and I'm gonna pose this question to the fellas. All right, so we know that the marriage rate in this country is roughly about 50% total, and roughly about 30% for the black community, right? If, let's say, 75 to 80% of women require marriage to be with them, what percentage would you say we would be at, and what would you say the marriage rate would be?
If 75% of the women require men to marry them in order to be with them?
Right. Let's say, just to make sure I offer the olive branch, the women don't change. They don't change at all. They're the same women, but they require over 75% of them require marriage for you to be with them.
I would think it. I think it increased. I think it would increase. I can't accurately put a number on it, but it would drastically increase, because the issue is that men are not educated on how women are operating. Men are not educated on the mentality of women whenever they get into a marriage and they start leveraging, weaponizing the kids, threatening them with alimony and all these other things, and having them walking around on eggshells around the house. That's not going to change. The issue is not the women. Women have always been deviants. Women have always been unruly. Women have always never been comfortable when you give them the world. Even Eve wasn't comfortable. She had to fucking bite off a different tree or some shit. They've always had the nature to want more, or nothing ever be satisfied. Rarely will you get one that ever becomes satisfied. But men still got to be cognizant. Even I got to be cognizant. I'm married. I still have to stay ahead of the innate nature of a woman trying to outgrow the customs or the lifestyle that she's in. The issue is not that it's the woman. The woman is just being a woman. It's the man not being educated. And the reason why the men are not educated is because they lack, a lot of them, and more often than not, lack the necessary education that's brought from the father, because the women are running the man out of the household. Not only the women, but the government is responsible for that at a portion in history of running men out of the household as well. So it's not completely on the women. And I'm not going to say it's by design or it's by intentional, but if you raise up a bunch of men that don't have a father in a household to educate them on the nature of a woman, you will have a lot of men signing that fucking marriage certificate and running into a marriage not equipped with the necessary skills and ability to be able to keep a woman in line and keep them from ruining her life specifically.
Can I get an understanding of what it is about, like, when married men are saying, like, they're married, but then they say these things about women? Like, you feel that way about your wife as well, Darwin? Like, no shade, right? But I'm really, because a lot of times I hear these things specifically from married men.
My wife is an exceptional woman, but No woman gets a
So
pass.
you feel like
All
she's
women
part
have
of the minority.
all women, and doesn't matter if it's my wife, my mother, whatever. All of them, all of y'all have that innate nature to where y'all have to be covered, y'all have to be governed, so y'all don't sabotage the relationship. And there's this thing called postpartum clarity, which women go through a mental reset to where they have to be reminded to get back in order. And that's something that men have to deal with from birth to birth. A lot of women are capable of being able to carry that order, so long as the man is in the masculine role and is in the position to be able to lead and be able to help her navigate without her, falling off of the path and sabotaging the relationship. All women
All
are
right, hold up,
subject to it. Not
hold up, yeah, we gotta get somebody else in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Damn, where damn, my mirror's just up in here. Did she jump
Yes,
off?
I was gonna ask her opinion after Darwin finished, but she disappeared.
She did disappear. Bougie, do you remember, because you made a point about women getting lifelike treatment. Do you remember a couple years ago there was a girl named Blue Jasmine? She went
Say it one more time. You went low at the end of your sentence. I made a point about what?
about women getting like wife treatment,
Right. Yeah.
and you were making reference to access to men and money and bank accounts. Do you remember a couple years ago this lady named Blue Jasmine? She went viral for going on record saying that you couldn't kick her out of a condo or something along them lines. Do y'all remember that vaguely? No. Okay. Anyway, she
Is that the lady that's on Love and Hip Hop that
No,
Kirk
I remember
Style
she was
chick?
on 8 at the Table, and she was talking about when she broke up with
No.
a man that he kept paying her bills. He bought her S550 and a luxury condo, and he had a new girlfriend. And he paid her bill for the year that she wasn't there, and she was pretty much talking about she found a trick that said it's best to keep taking care of a woman when you break up with her until she can get back on her feet for an undetermined amount of time.
Yeah. Do you guys? Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, that girl. You can look her up, whatever. But when you started talking about women now are getting these type of things, that she came to mind. And basically she went on a panel with I think like Adam 22, and this guy named Sharp was interviewing her, and he broke this down. Basically what he was explaining is that the current women like her in the market of women currently settle for trinkets, but they think it's value. So if you have the ability to get men who can allow you access to a bank account that you think is his only bank account, or that you get your hair taken care of, all these things, current day they're trading it for value, like, oh, well, I'm not even a wife, not understanding, because he asked her, he said, what did you get from that man that is sustainable? And she wasn't able to answer it. And pretty much he was like, you didn't get no businesses, you didn't get no network, you didn't expand upon self. Basically, I'm saying is that I think that's the issue, is that with being in a relationship and having a husband, a wife, a family, it's not just the treatment of, the exchange of this. We used to get those things. I said it before you came up. It's not about just the marriage one dimensional. It's the community. It's the family. And basically, go ahead.
No, I don't. I'm not cutting you off. Go ahead. You finish.
Basically, it seems like that's what current day women believe is value. That I'm getting flued out, or I'm getting my bills paid, or I can call him and ask for 500, and he'll cash app it, or he'll cash out me 1,000. But in the scheme of things, that's trinkets, because it's not sustainable. You have to continue. If it doesn't happen with him and y'all, have a demise, then now that access that you claim to have needs to be now replenished. Go ahead.
So I can only speak from what I see. And a lot of people hate when I speak from what I see. But I'm literally not even, a lot of times and that's why I'm prefacing this. A lot of times, because me and you have never had a conversation, I'm not speaking from a place of what I necessarily believe, but I'm speaking from how I see the world is operating, right? Here's what I think is a very interesting thing. 3 women that I would like to use as a great example. Jada Waiter, who is Lil Baby's baby mama, India Royale, Dirk's baby mama, and like Kodak Black's baby mama, Mariah, right? Or I think that's her name. So a lot of these women that are in their, let's say, early to mid 20s, they're not just taking this money and getting their hair done, getting their nails done. They are investing into businesses. And now these women are also multimillionaires, right? So the thing is a lot of times we like to focus on the girl that doesn't have her head screwed on right. But a lot of girls in that age range do see the trick as the gateway to this is my future. This is the man that's going to pay the condo, so I don't have to pay the condo payment. This is the man that's going to pay for my X5 or my X6, so I don't have to pay that payment. And then that extra money that I'm making as said teacher, paralegal, CNA, all of these things, right? Even the girls that work nightlife are now flipping that money and doing the hair business, the lash business, the esthetician services. And these are the girls that are making the six figures as well. And the only reason that I bring that up is to say that men will take it like, oh, well, she doesn't have that fallback. She doesn't have this. She doesn't have that. But we all have to be realistic. As much as we might not like the play technically becomes very valuable when you look into it and you're like, well, now that she didn't have to pay $30,000 in rent this year, now that she didn't have to pay 46 in a car note plus insurance this year, and she made all of that same money she would have had to spend in the car note, in the insurance, in the rent, right? She bought the wigs and started installing them. She bought the bundles and started installing them, all of those things. Now she's that viral girl that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram, that's on whatever social media she's on. And now she does have that Roth IRA. She did invest into that Bitcoin. She did do all of these things to become an influencer. Now she is an ambassador. My thing is just like, at least from when I talk to a lot of girls that I see out and about, they laugh at the wives because a lot of times it's like, sis, you're at home during the laundry and all you got for real is what? You're keeping track of his birth certificate and his social security card. I'm outside having a great time and I get access to the same bank account that you go shopping from. And I'm not saying it's right. Don't ever get it twisted. I'm not saying it's right, because do I believe in the nuclear family? Absolutely. Do I believe in the marriage? Absolutely. But what I think is something that we have to realize and have a conversation about is that a lot of the girls and the women are having these conversations, laughing at the women that were raised like old school, because I do have old school parents that are like, oh no, we're going to stay at home, or we're not going out to the club at 4 a.m, going to the after hours. And then the after hours, we got a man. They're like, for what? Because your man was just with me. Or for what? Because while you're only hanging out at Marshall's and Target and Barnes and Nobles with your homegirls going on coffee dates and at home by 10, we're outside. And that same access to finance that is supposed to be your covering, right? It's the same access that I get.
Yeah, but
So
this what you're not compensating for. How old are you?
Mhm.
And how old are the girls that are out there with you?
4 and 5 years difference.
How old are you?
29. And they're like 25.
Exactly. So whenever y'all turn 59,
right?
Tables are gonna turn. They be laughing at your ass out there in the cold while they in the house, and that man is gonna be tapped out from knocking you down because your pussy gonna get tired and you're gonna be wrinkled.
I'm not saying that I don't understand that.
All I'm
The only
saying is,
reason that I brought it up
let me
is
land real quick.
to correlate. Men
get it.
take
Y'all-
money
y'all- all I'm saying is
seriously.
the
So
joke is
if a
on them
man
right
is
now.
willing
One
to,
mic, y'all. One mic. We talking over each other.
Just land, Boozy. The joke is on the woman standing at home taking care of the house, raising the kids, making sure the house stays steady. Yeah, he out there doing his thing. The joke is on her. Well, the joke is gonna be on your ass because you're gonna be out there in the cold, still out there trying to get that thing to keep working for you, and it's not gonna work. And what end up doing?
You mean them?
Or whoever it is, whoever the little crew you was talking about, what's gonna end up happening is y'all gonna get
Yeah.
tired of that shit, and y'all gonna want to get the lifestyle that they got, but they had already put 20 years in. They solid.
Well, no,
So
it's
the
not
focus is
that.
gonna
Like
be
I
on you at
said,
the end of the day.
like I said, I'm not saying that they're right. All I'm saying is I'm speaking to a testament of a lot. This is how a lot of women that I've had certain conversations with, right? A lot of women see it like men take their money seriously. So if they're willing to spend their money on said woman, then, and you've heard me say that before, Darwin, if they're willing to spend their money on said woman, who is not the woman that they're in the relationship with or married to, right? Then they're willing to gamble with that woman because it's like, if you spend your money on me knowing you're a married man, then you're willing to gamble with your wife and your family. So then that gives that other woman that's out there the leg up to feel like, oh, ha, you're the joke. And I'm not saying that the way that they're thinking is right, but I get it, because it's like the woman that is sitting in the house then does feel like the joke, because I don't know how many men are on, like, avid social media, like Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But it's like, you got to understand, as women, right? And probably Ty and Bo can attest to this. You'll see a man that you are really into, or your man or whatever, in that girl's likes. And you're like, but I thought you liked natural hair. I thought you liked the natural woman. I thought you liked the woman that was covered up. So in a woman's mind, and I'm not saying that this is true for you guys, I'm speaking from our perspective, right? Our perspective is, why are you DMing her over the last such and such amount of time? Why are you in her likes over this amount of time? And so then we take it like, so is that what you like? You like the mini skirt? You like the 30-inch bust down? You like the whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? And so am I worth gambling? Am I worth losing? And then when you meet that type of woman, let's say like we're out for a cocktail night. Women, we start drinking, right? The women's bathroom is the friendliest place in the world. So when we start drinking, we didn't have 2 martinis, we'll be like, oh, babe, I'm coming right back. Now we're in the bathroom. And you hear, oh, girl, because he was looking at me and because amongst just conversation, she might not even know that that's your man. Amongst conversation, girl, he was so cute. He was light skinned. He was bald. And then you realize, oh, that's his man. What you mean my man was looking at you? And then you're like, not the same man that said he doesn't like the sew-ins and the wigs, not the same man that said he doesn't like the itty-bitty skirts, not the same man that's telling me, and it makes us feel less than. So that's the point that I'm just trying to convey to men, so maybe they kind of understand where some women are coming from, because it hurts our feelings. And I know that a lot of y'all don't even mean it intentionally, but it does. It makes us feel so hurt sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And they don't
So
mean it because they don't care about those women, right?
They
That's
don't.
their
They
argument.
don't
They don't
at
care.
all.
They
And
only
Nah, but
that
this,
agree
part
with
I
them.
know. But
But the
it's
fact
the
that you
feeling
would
of like
gamble
they're willing to
that
gamble
wife,
that.
you would gamble the
Yes.
relationship and the woman that you strategically chose that
Yes.
was for you, for something that you said you would never wife. But while you have a wife, you would go ahead and stick your thing in them, knowing that you could potentially lose me, is the whole thing. I understand that, and I get why there are a lot of women nowadays who are deciding, you know what, instead of ending up in that situation where I put all of my trust, love, and affection into this man, I'm cooking and cleaning for him, and I'm not getting a career, and I'm doing all of this other stuff for him to build a family just for him to betray me in the end. I would rather be the side chick. Not saying, once again, like Bougie, I don't agree with that. But there are a lot of women who feel that way, especially younger women nowadays, that they would rather decide to take a man's money, invest in themselves, build their own businesses, and rely on him
Right.
Well,
yeah.
than
I
to
was
So
rely
you
on
know what?
another person
This,
who will
I was
most likely decide that they would rather, choose their own pleasure for a quick second with something that look good, over the person that you strategically chose to build
here's the
your life
thing.
with.
Here's the thing, though. No man ever y'all consider it a gamble. No man goes into it like we believe that we have complete control of our situation. It's not a gamble to those men. They're doing it with the intention of you not finding out. So like it seems like it's more less the thing of it seemed like a good idea at the time. No man goes into it saying I'm gambling my relationship with this other chick. It's just I got this chick and I got that chick, and hopefully them two never find out about each other.
This is unfair how y'all loaded the
That
scenario.
alone is a gamble, though.
That's
Let's
not
be
Even
fair,
that's
Darwin, because that's
that's
the life
fine.
of many
Lock
women.
his
That's not
ass
unfair.
up. Lock his
Let's
ass
keep it a
up.
buck. That's the
All
life
right.
of a lot of women, whether they find out or not, whether they decide to speak on it or not, whether they decide to forgive their man or not. That's the story of a lot of women, that they go through this situation with men and they cheat on them, they let it go, they try to work on it, they figure out what's wrong. But I agree with her on it changes the mindset of women. And I also wanted to put back, because you stated, Darwin, that they get older and they're out there high and dry and they don't have anything, when the reality of it is that a lot of these men will keep that mistress on the side for years.
We
Okay,
get
Well,
that,
for
but
there's a
years she will
reason. There's a
never be high
reason.
and
we
dry.
forgetting a
There's a
couple
reason why
points
she's
there.
kept.
Still be there with that woman on the side, still
There's a
spending
reason
time
why
with her.
she's on this. There's a reason why the man is keeping this woman on the side. That you don't y'all are not compensating because y'all loaded the scenario so bad. Y'all didn't compensate for the reason why the men are moving like that in the first place.
What's the reason they moving like that?
Well, you can think of one. One of them is oftentimes, a woman are okay with a man having something on the side.
No, that we're not talking about that scenario.
No,
Clearly,
I know you know. Exactly. You don't want to add that, but it's a part of it.
it was never on the table. We
Yeah,
weren't talking
it
about a polygamous
is.
relationship, Darwin.
It is on the table in some cases. You got to compensate for the whole thing. You can't just paint it one way. The other
This
part
can be
is
a monogamous
the other part.
relationship.
The other part that you didn't want to put on the table is the fact that y'all got these men in these sexless marriages too. You don't want to put that on the table either. You just want to paint it as, oh, he's just gambling in his relationship. When this man has been sitting there trying to get a connection out of you, intimacy out of you, and you just turn over like a dead dog saying, just get it over with.
Darwin, so
Why the
men
fuck
only
would I
cheat
do
because
that
they
when I can
lack in
go and get a
sex?
young baddie outside to go ahead and give me the world?
Do men only cheat
Put it
because they're
all on the
lacking
table.
sex?
Stop just
Is that the only reason that men cheat? Because
what?
women are not giving them sex?
That
Or
ain't the
are
It's,
only
there
reason. I just
scenarios where
gave
they're
you.
still getting
it's
sex and they
actually
still
No.
go and cheat?
it's actually one of the number one reasons why men cheat.
That's one of
What
the number
is?
one reasons
It's almost
What
the
is?
top reason why
Yeah.
most men cheat.
that
What
men
is?
aren't
Yeah.
getting sex
Lack
From
of
lack
from
of
their
intimacy.
intimacy.
wives.
From
Would you
Lack
No,
of
say?
intimacy.
no, that's not it. No,
Oh my God.
that
Oh,
can't
man.
be it.
Why they both being?
Y'all cheat.
Bro, you
Y'all,
doing the
that's
same
fine.
thing.
Y'all,
No,
What you're doing
Darwin,
is
y'all
you're
you
want
doing
have
the
to
same. You
understand.
complain about invalidating experiences, but that's exactly what you fit to do right this second is
well, what I'm
invalidate our experience and tell us what it is that we feel, which is what you hate when it happens to you.
Hold
But
on.
no,
I
I
also
know that.
wanted to.
But what
All
I'm
right, go ahead.
saying is, I said that can't be. It just in my head, it just can't, because there are a lot of men that do that. And literally, y'all be on this internet calling it exercising your options. It's not that you're not getting it at home. It's literally just, I mean, and Darwin has said it here himself. Monogamy is a favor to y'all. Like, y'all gonna do it
Yeah,
either
but you know what?
way.
Y'all tripping
No,
because most men don't cheat. Most men don't cheat, and when you look it up, most reports show that women are cheating at just as great a clip as men are. So I don't even know why
I
we
don't.
doing that.
I
Why
don't.
why are we
I
trying
don't
to
think that I
antagonize men in that way? But and secondly, I wanted to address your point, Bougie, because I know you were talking about how women envy the bust down, and that's weird. And I'll tell you why. Because it's a finite
yeah.
position for one. That it doesn't last. Those women, after time, they're just going to be trashed. It's almost like junk food, right? So those women are pretty much junk food. Like I like cheesecake a lot, but I can't eat that shit every day. Right? You'll die. You can't. There's no substance to it. So
But you
you
gotta
have to
understand,
understand we
it's
don't.
not crazy though, Trev, because even on
It
this
is.
show, how many times have you heard men on this show, what's the word I'm looking for? Idolize youth. I'm not even necessarily saying that women are idolizing the bust down. I think it's more so they idolize the youth. They like, and I know that that's even true about me. Like, I look at it like when I go out and how many women, be for real, y'all. Miss Pearl, Ty, Boheme, when y'all go out, right? And they ask you for your ID. All of us are old enough to not get ID'd no more. They ask you for your ID, some in your head be like, you thought I was young enough to get ID? That's the same thing that men do to us, though.
What you're
That's the
describing is
same thing.
insecurities. What you're describing is insecurity. And that's the problem that these women are having. They're insecure. That's pretty much it. But that's a you problem, right? The women who are dealing with this, that's a you problem. That's not something that men are causing. These women already feel like that. If these are the reactions that they have, then surely you got to understand that as pure just insecurities. But that's something that they'll have to search from within and address it. It's not something that men are putting on them. Like this isn't new. We know that men are attracted to women, younger women sexually, but that's about where it ends. They don't really have that much in common with us as we age and all that. And that's just what it is. It's sex. If you are envious of a woman who's objectified, yeah, you might have a couple issues. You see what they do there. It's only maintenance because that's the cost of it, because they generally wouldn't have access to that type of woman. When a dude is tricking on a woman, it's usually because that's the type of woman he generally doesn't have access to. If you are his wife and he's taking care of you, he understands that as duty. If you are not and he tricking on you, that's because he know he's punching outside his weight class, and that's just
And
like
I gotta
something
warn you.
he
I gotta
generally
warn you,
got.
Bougie. If you are the girls, and I just directed you. If you are the girls that are out here moving like that, want to maintain that position as the side chick, as the one, you better get rid of this illusion that you are on the same level as the one that's in this household, because that's gonna get you cut off. We don't want you to think that you need to just play it. A problem with y'all out there is y'all don't want to play y'all
But
role. Y'all want to
Darwin, first of all, wait a minute. I want to clarify. I never specified that, like, I know these women personally or like these are my homegirls. What I'm saying is, like, when I go on like a date night, like I said, you meet women in the bathroom, or like I'm sitting next to a girl and I'm kikiing with her or whatever. Or even when I've met girls that my man's homeboy is just dating or whatever, I'm cordial with them. So when we be talking and stuff, it'll just be like, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking in the perspective of somebody that's 23, 24, 25, 26, whatever. And I'm bringing that to the table because a lot of times I just feel like that perspective isn't represented. As you know, that is literally what I feel like I'm always speaking on, because nobody ever speaks from that perspective. And I'm not even like faulting anybody. I just feel like it's because most of us probably don't know anybody that's that young and not married outside of, like, let's say, like our kids or nieces, nephews, whatever. So that's the perspective that I'm bringing to the table. I never said that I feel like it was right or whatever. I'm just saying that a lot of times the position of the wife or the woman that really is like the caring person, or like, oh, baby, let me help you, let me be there, is downplayed because of that type of mindset that is now going around.
Well, I will tell you, the woman who's holding down the fort, that is a noble position. She knows her place. She knows the value she brings. She knows what was at stake. And I'm just being honest with you. She's actually laughing at the little hoes that's getting the crumbs every now and then, here and there, because she knows she got the prize. She knows she got the prize. When it's all said and done, to Trez's point, the women, it's gonna be a cold winter for them.
Well, let's
She not
look
laughing.
at it.
She crying
Let's look at it from this perspective.
because she hurt.
Let's look at it from this perspective, Laisha. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you're absolutely right. Y'all up in the bathroom, and the dude that's married to that woman that's sitting at the table, you find out he's staring at you, and you become a side chick, right? Let's say his wife finds out. He loses his wife. The difference is because both of y'all are gonna break up. Let's say I even offer you the olive branch that neither one of y'all knew about each other. You just, you know what I mean, or whatever. And when y'all do find out about each other, you're laughing at the wife saying, "I got your man." But let's say both of y'all leave him. The difference between the two of y'all is when she leaves, she has leverage. When you leave, you have none. You can't leverage anything that he owns or anything like that, but she can. So even if y'all both wind up losing that man, she will be able to walk away with a piece of the pie, whereas you, the side chick, walk away with nothing.
I think that's the wrong approach based on what I heard Bougie say. Because it's being perceived from marketing value perspective, and this is where I see it incorrectly. Most women think that all women are good women, and they think that just because she's married, she's actually a wife. But what you really see is that a lot of women are married but not functioning in their wifely life duties, nor are they functioning in that relationship to where that man is being loved, supported, respected correctly. So sometimes what you see as the woman on the outside looking in is a married couple through paperwork, through legality, but they're not functioning as a married couple. There is no love in that relationship, nor is there respect in that relationship. And a lot of women, unfortunately, do think, oh, she's married and I'm getting treated better. No, a lot of times people just get married. It's not very complicated to get married. It is very difficult, however, to build a relationship that is fruitful.
Do you know how many times I've been up here and I've said people are married and they feel like they can give marriage advice. But then when I ask a simple question like, are you happily married? People respond with, what does happiness have to do with it? And they look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, what do you mean? What is happiness? Happiness is a fleeting emotion. No. As much as people love to be like, I'm not responsible for another person's happiness. In a marriage, you're responsible for each other in general. You're responsible for each other's everything. Everything.
Well, let me say this.
When my husband wakes up and he's upset, it's my duty to feel like his upset is my upset. Let me work on that. Let me fix it. Let me make his day brighter. Let me make his load lighter. The same thing with mine. And I feel like you're the first person to get that. Thank you so much.
Kudos
because
to
that's
you,
all
T-Baby.
I've been trying to say.
Look, I think we need to revisit what Sweeney the point Sweeney just made, because that actually, I don't know if he actually realizes, actually stronger than what he actually painted it out to be whenever he spoke about the leverage and the amount of what's at risk. A lot of the lifestyle, a lot of the things that the side chick is able to get from the man that's stepping out relies on the woman that he's keeping at home. If she pull a trigger on divorce and take this man and bleed him out in the courts, that's going to overlap into the lifestyle that she's getting as the side chick. That's why a lot of side chicks are keeping their mouth shut, because they know that if the wife does find out, she not only she going to take the house, the cars, and clean them out of the bank account, take half of his assets and all that stuff. Now he's got to go start over, which means he become less attractive to the side chick that he was maintaining. So the things that she actually sought after are no longer even relevant for him. So
also to add to that, in the state of Texas, the wife can sue the side chick.
Yeah. In Georgia, and I think in Georgia too.
I don't know if that's a fruitful
I know for certain in California.
I don't know if that's fruitful, because from what Bougie said, it was not just money. She said in the bathroom, ladies are trading commentary about flirtatious eyes and sexual exchange and gesture. So this supersedes just the demise
finances. No woman wants to be the joke of another woman.
Cool.
Like, I don't want to walk in somewhere and feel like this woman got one up on me and she's keying about me.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are going to put as much effort as possible to make sure that you don't know, or that doesn't happen.
But that's not what, again,
that's not the point.
I'm speaking to the fact that typically happens because a lot of people are just married in title, that their relationships are not functioning. The only way a man that is married and respectable and happy can give off energy across the room to a woman that ain't his wife is because he is not in his marriage and vice versa. That's the only way that happens. So I don't like, so you got women that are saying, well, she's the wife and I'm getting her man looking at me and her man trying to slide me his number on the side or his business card on the side. That only happens if that freaking marriage has got gaps in it, got holes in it.
Because it gives the side chick the room to be like, oh, she must not be of value enough. She must not be doing like, no, but look, Miss Pearl, I'm not saying that what the side chick is thinking is right. What I'm saying is that that's what the side chicks start saying as like the butt of the joke. Oh, you must not be doing your job if your man's looking at me. You must not be fucking and sucking hard enough if blah, 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 blah. And you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how
I get what you're saying. I just don't be trying to hear nothing they talk about. Like, you a side chick. You're not even like really a part of the conversation. It's like an illusion for you. You know what I mean? Like you being breadcrumbed and you dumb.
Of course, that is very true.
Like you laughing at the wife, the woman with the title,
laughing at the woman
and
who
the real
got the
paperwork and the leverage.
you
Like,
getting crumbs.
that's what we're saying. Like it's a reverse joke. A side chick could never laugh at a wife. You're voluntarily allowing yourself to be second place, and you like making a career.
Wife literally got all of the leverage
of other women to like support you.
Right. I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Don't support you.
I'm just speaking from a place of like, I would imagine that that's not a good feeling to even have a woman saying that about you. Not that it's true or not that like we should go for it, right? But you got to understand, it's the difference in like when somebody's telling you that something is fun, but you know it's wrong, it still doesn't necessarily feel good to like for instance, right? No shade to anybody that does smoke, but I don't smoke. So when I go places and everybody's like, you don't smoke? What you mean you don't smoke weed? And it doesn't necessarily feel good to be ostracized. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good. It's not going to change the fact that I don't smoke. I still don't smoke. Oh, well.
That's your decision. You don't smoke, you be solid and you stand on that.
Yeah.
Because that's like peer pressure almost. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't like it, I don't smoke.
But let's not act like peer pressure ever felt good is all I'm saying. No, I'm not saying we succumb to it. I'm just saying it never felt good.
I think any type of way. If I don't smoke, I don't smoke.
But keep it a bean, though.
Like, why can't it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna feel some type of way because everybody having sex and I'm not.
I think
you see what I'm saying? So that's personal.
Of course.
I think we can't ignore, right? Like we can't ignore women's nature, and we can't ignore the way that women communicate with each other, right? The same way that women can't ignore that about men. A woman can sit here and say, like, you care about my body count? You an insecure ass nigga. If you was real nigga, you wouldn't care about my body count. And I'm a man, so that means that I communicate with other men. And I don't care what you're talking about. I care what the men that I respect think about me, right? So I think it's the same with women. I don't think that we can necessarily say, like, don't worry about what the bitches is saying in the bathroom. You my woman, I come home to you. I don't think that we can necessarily say that because only women speak women, and they only know how it feels for a woman to say, your nigga just ate my ass and he hit me raw. You was a dumb bitch. Right.
Well, that's why you gotta break it down. You gotta break the logic down for the woman because she don't see it that way. If it was flipped and the man was in a situation where the woman had a side dude, and the husband is the joke's on the husband. Because again, whenever the marriage is dissolved, 8 times out of 10, women got the courts on her side. She still got the leverage, even though she got a side dude. But in the reverse, it doesn't work that way for the man who has a side. The wife holds the cards.
But Darwin, this is all I'm trying to. I want you to come from a place of emotion.
Because the leverage only matters
when we get on here and we're talking, Darwin, for once, I would love it if you would break that wall that you have about you being so like, I'm Bruiser. I want you to be Darwin the husband. To that beautiful wife that you have. You know you would tear up heaven and earth. A nigga come to you in that damn bathroom talking about some bitch ass nigga, fuck you. I got your wife. What?
Yeah, I think that's what that's
No,
conveyed.
you would give a damn. It would hurt, even if it's not true. You would give a damn. Smooth would give a damn. But everybody on here
You
would
didn't
give
hear
a
me, did you?
damn. It
That's
doesn't matter if it's true. It's the fact of, if everybody can remember in high school, you might have not wanted to even go to the party. You might have not thought you could even go. Your parents probably was on some like, fuck no. You know, at 16, you ain't staying out past 11, 10 o'clock. But that doesn't mean you didn't want to get invited.
Hold on,
Sometimes
Bougie.
that's what it feels like in adulthood.
Bougie, wait a minute. Hold on. There's a difference here between men and women, right? Let's say you go into the bathroom, right? You
Hmm.
decide to, or the dude was staring at you and was eyeballing you at the in the back at the table, and then you walk in the bathroom with his wife, and you say, "Oh yeah, your man was staring at me," right? What
Right?
would she respond with?
If a woman, what would I
If you,
respond with if a woman told
what
me
would
my man was staring at her?
no. If you walk into the bathroom and you told a woman who was that her husband was staring at you, and that's why I got your man's eyes, what would she respond to you with?
cuss your ass out.
Hold on, no, Bruce. Don't jump in. What would she respond to you with?
It depends on the woman. So if
See,
you
so if
came,
Sauce.
listen, let me answer your question. If the woman,
no.
cause bougie situation was they was just talking. This just bathroom talk, and you happen to realize that they talking about your man.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I'm gonna go talk straight to my man. Like, you got me all the way messed up. Now we gotta go because you in
No,
public
that's not.
embarrassing me. You know what I'm saying? What's
No.
wrong with you? I don't understand. But if a woman came to you and she instantly talking about, yeah, I got your man, this,
Well,
and third, you gonna go off on the woman. Now you
But
about
what
to
would you?
almost fight in the
you
bathroom.
want me to be honest?
Hold on. Yeah, let her
Stop,
answer
Wait,
the
lady.
you
question
Stop.
want me to be
directly.
honest and be myself? You want me to be like the real me?
Girl, you
I
gonna
want
punch
you
her
to
in her
tell me.
face.
Hold on, wait. I want you to tell me. I don't want to tell.
Exactly how I would respond?
Wait. I just want you to tell me what would the woman say to you. All I'm asking is what would she say? Not whether she's gonna whoop your ass, not smack you up in the bathroom. What would she say if you said, "I got your man staring at me outside," and this is her
Oh,
husband?
I
What would
don't
she
even
say?
get down like this, so I don't know. I'm I'm not gonna lie. I'm
What?
a girl's girl, so I'm not
No,
going in
no.
the bathroom saying that. I'm a girl's girl, so I'm gonna go in the bathroom and be like, hey sis,
Bougie,
you
that is
might want to check
that
your
is
man because he was being weird. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
not
I
trying
don't
to.
get down like that.
Cop out.
Now, if a woman came to me and I realized that was my man, I could tell you how I would respond as like the wife, but I can't tell you how I would respond as the other woman because
Bougie. That's
anytime I've ever come to a woman, I come to women as like, hey, like when I used to bartend, I come to women as like, did you know that your man was here last week with another woman or et cetera? I don't play that. I'm a girl's girl. I
Bougie.
don't get down like
That's
that.
not what he asked you,
Hold on.
Bougie.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
He asked me if I came to a woman, but I don't know because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get down like that.
So you can
I'm
say
not.
I don't want to answer.
I
I
don't
don't,
care.
you can say I don't want to answer, but you just that was a whole different scenario you was bringing up.
Hold
Because
on.
I
I got this.
really
Hold on,
don't know. I don't
I got this real
even
dope. I
play
got this.
like that. Hell no.
That's
Bougie, pause. I'm giving you the scenario. I'm not asking what you would do or how you would behave in a scenario where a man is staring at you. I'm giving you the scenario. If a woman, you can even answer from the woman's perspective through your own lens. If a woman came up to you and said that about your husband, I'm just asking, what would the woman say? The married woman, what would she say to a woman who walks up to her in the bathroom and says, "Your husband is staring at you, and he's giving me those eyes, and he wanna be with me, and he's looking at me. That's why I got your man looking at me." What would the woman, the married wife, say to that woman? What would be the first thing?
Oh, well, as the married woman, I'm gonna be like, that's real cute. Who asked you that?
And what else?
And
Why
then
would you
when I
say?
walk out, I'm finna go check the fuck out of him. Because
No,
why are you embarrassing me in public?
stop right there. Why would you?
Mhm.
Why would you so easily dismiss that woman like that?
Because I feel like she doesn't owe me anything. She doesn't owe me no loyalty. She want to gossip. She want to try and be petty. She wants to try and provoke me, get me out of my body. I'm not giving you that reaction. What I'm now going to do is go to him and be like, so this was said to me. What is it really? Et cetera, et cetera. Let's go from there.
You know what? I'm gonna stop this all right here because you're doing way too much. This is the woman is gonna treat
Why
her
is that
like
too much to go
the
and
woman.
ask
Hold on,
him?
I'm gonna explain to you why. Because
Mhm.
you're adding way too much context where there doesn't need to be. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna just answer the question myself. That woman is gonna treat her like the side chick that she is, and she's gonna have the mindset of, "You don't matter because I am. That is my husband. He may have looked at you, but that is my husband." Now, here's the flip side, because this is the whole point I was trying to get to. There is nothing a man can say to a man who just walked in the bathroom and said, "Yeah, I'm doing X, Y, Z," or your girl is staring at me, or your wife is about to give me her number, or I smash your wife. There is nothing a man can say that will be leveraged against the man that told him that. Like, as a matter of fact, we would even look at that dude. If a dude walked in there and said, "Yeah, I hit your woman last night," he is not gonna say, "Yeah, but that's my wife though."
Nah, hell no.
He not gonna say, "Yeah, but I got her heart."
He gonna be like, "Yo, appreciate you telling me that, man."
He ain't even gonna say that. It's a difference because there is no leverage that a man would have over another man who would come to him like that. However,
No,
women would.
if a man came to me and said, "Look, man, I hit your wife like that," I'm like, man, appreciate that, because for men, the way men operate, most niggas ain't telling the nigga he is, man. He's just gonna let him look stupid. He's just not gonna even say nothing.
Can I get
Men are
a clear
hold on, wait.
understanding of why it means more? Because when you're saying that, it's almost like it means more to be a wife than it means to be a husband. Can I get an understanding?
Hold on, wait. I got it. I got it real dope. Because this is my scenario. The reason why it is different is because there is no leverage that a man has over another man when it comes to his woman if he had his woman. There is leverage that a woman would have over a side chick. Because she would say, even if I, like, yes, that's my husband, so I have the keys to everything. There ain't no such scenario where a man would be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you slept with my wife, and in this scenario that I'm hurt in, but yeah, that's my wife, and I got the keys to the kingdom." Like, there is nothing a man will be able to say and leverage against another man who's done that to him. However, there's the leverage that a wife would have over a woman that would be able to walk up to her and say something like that, that it would not sting as much as it would sting to a man. It's not about that the woman is more valued in a marriage or anything like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if presented those two same scenarios, the man is just different for a man because there's no leverage there.
And then the reason, and when
We
he
would
talk about leverage, he means if a
I wouldn't have
woman
no
walked up
there.
to the wife in the bathroom and said, "Hey, this and this," it doesn't matter because she hold the leverage. And when we say leverage, she can pull the strings on whether or not the household stands or falls. Now, if it's the reverse, and a man is presented by another, and a husband is presented by another man, is like, "Yeah, I blew your wife back out last night." You can't go and say, "Well, I'm going to destroy the household and take all everything in the house." And no, nigga. She can go and take all your wife can take, once you find out that she cheated, she can still ruin your life and move the nigga that she cheated in the house during the separation process. It's a totally different thing. And typically when men come to other men and say, "Hey, look, I hit your woman," or "I hit your wife," basically 9 times out of 10, a man is trying to tell him, to warn him or notify him that, look, maybe you need to get out of that situation because this woman ain't good for you. If they come out and say it, the guy actually has some type of sentiment for the guy that's in a situation like, "Yeah, man, I hit your wife. She ain't no good, man. That bitch is a hoe, bro. I hit her. Yeah, I hit her, bro. He hit her too." Like, whenever they do that, they really want the man to try to get out of that shit. They actually care about the dude's feelings. But if they don't
Okay,
say nothing
so
in
do
return,
you not feel like if a woman goes into the bathroom and says the same thing, that she's like, "Yo, man's a hoe," or "Your husband's a hoe, and I want you to get out of that because he doesn't respect you," the same way that men would feel like the side man or whatever is telling the husband that because she doesn't respect him? Is that not the same?
It's a possibility of being the same, but it don't hold the same weight because in the event of a divorce, the dynamics are different. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Bougie. I'm kind of disappointed. I was hoping you would say, and I'm hoping most women would say, if a woman came up and say, "Yeah, your man was looking at me, he was eyeing me." I mean, I was hoping y'all would say, "Well, did he touch you? Did he touch you? Are you okay? Okay, keep it moving, ho." Like, why can't y'all just do that?
So Bougie, I think you misinterpreted what I'm saying, right? Because we were talking about the conversation of it being an embarrassment. Like you don't want to be the butt of the joke, right?
Right.
So I was explaining the difference between it, a man being the butt of the joke in that scenario and a woman being the butt of the joke. I.e., you walk into a bathroom and hear about your woman, or you walk into the bathroom and hear about your man, and he walks into the bathroom and hear about his woman. The difference is that when you're the butt of the joke as the wife, you at least still have an argument or a fighting chance in that scenario. There is no fighting chance for a man in that scenario. If he walks into the bathroom and he's the butt of the joke of all the dudes in there cackling about his wife, he ain't gonna be able. There's nothing he can say in that scenario that's gonna be like, yeah, to get the upper hand in that scenario. Whereas you, the wife, you can go in that bathroom and all these women could be cackling, and there's something you can say that'll nip all that in the bud to give you back the leverage in that situation.
Because it's a matter
What is
of
that
domination.
something? What do you feel like is that something?
So
No,
for something,
It's you're talking about dicks going inside of one vagina. A matter of domination. It's different. It's a matter of you submitting your womb to all of these men. So that man can't say, "Oh, but that's my wife." Yeah, but we all had her. Like, just totally different because all of these guys got an opportunity for whenever there's a child born that might be the father, that might be the father, it's a
I know
totally
y'all finna crucify me for saying this. I already know it. But what you're saying is community coochie has no value. Community peen still should be that.
community peen
He's
reigns
still a
supreme because
husband.
in many cases in history, community peen was necessary to populate society. Community vagina has never been elevated to the position of that. It becomes
I don't want to talk about some circumstances. I don't want to talk about 100 years ago, Darwin. I want to talk about right now. If Trev was community peen, if you, Darwin, were community peen, if Sweeney was community peen, if Real Dope Daddy was community peen, if M White was community peen, because I know all of y'all got wives, well, fiancés, wives. Your wife or fiance wouldn't be cussing you out.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I feel like
that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a standpoint of y'all are on date night as married men, as engaged men, and your wife, your fiance, is in the bathroom realizing in that moment she's overhearing a conversation with some young hoes about how them young hoes then caught complete eye contact, you done sent them a shot or whatever. It's not a good feeling. And at the end of the day, yeah, you're saying, well, I'm his wife. And they're responding with, cool, bitch. I done got 6 shots on y'all's Amex. And I'm saying that's an embarrassing feeling, the same way it would be embarrassing to men.
It's all, hold on, wait, I got a real dope. Obviously, it's all.
Let that nigga Real Dope get in there.
It's my argument, so I'm trying to make sure that you
That nigga said this is his argument, yo.
So here's the thing, though, Bougie. This is what I'm trying to explain.
This is his argument, yo.
So this is what I'm trying to explain to you. We're not talking about the conversation you're going to have with your husband later. We're talking about the conversation you're going to have in that bathroom with them other women. What I'm saying is there's no argument that a man can make in that bathroom at all. There's zero chance that he can say anything in that bathroom that can make him look less of a joke. However,
can I take a stab at it, Sweeney?
God damn it.
What if I said she had my kids though?
Oh no,
that's the even bigger joke to this current generation.
You gonna still be the like so if
that is the even bigger joke to this current generation, because you know what they respond with when you say that, like as women, not as men, because I'm never going to attest to what y'all say to each other, what y'all whatever. What y'all's argument is what y'all's argument is. What I'm saying is when I go in the bathroom and I say, I had his kids though. Okay, stupid bitch, you just got fat for the nigga.
There's plenty of things you can say.
Man, come on,
Like,
Bougie.
You
Why
know
you
what
trying to
I'm
let
saying?
Bougie,
Like,
Bougie, you know what you can say, Bougie? You know what you can say?
what?
You can say,
Because I love talking.
yeah,
Nah,
this is what you can say.
tell her real though.
I love talking to you.
You can say, yeah, I know he was looking at you. You look good. I told him to. We was trying to get you home. I told him to.
But mind you, I'm not gonna lie.
We was trying to get you home.
Y'all know from previous conversations that we've all had. That's the type of response I give because I'm not
Why
a
didn't you
certain
give
type
that?
of way. What do you mean?
Sweeney told you can answer.
Hold on, wait, Bougie, you just proved my point. If a woman walked up to you in the bathroom and started talking crazy about your man, you at least can say, you would respond with something like, well, yeah, I have his kids. Or she says, hey, look, I just got 6 shots off your Amex. And you will respond, yeah, but I got the house. Or like you would be able,
No, use the latest one she said. I told him to look at you.
Bruce, I got it. You always have something to up the chick that's trying to talk shit to you. There is nothing a man can say in that scenario that would give us the upper hand. Not, oh, but she had my babies. Not, oh, but I'm married to her. Not, oh, but we have a house together. Not, oh, but we married. Not, nothing. There is nothing.
Oh, say the other one, Sweeney, don't.
Not, oh, I slept with her last night.
I know what I said.
No, say the other one, Sweeney.
I know what I said, Darwin. Because as y'all know, we didn't have that conversation before.
We can't tell the dude, "Hey, I was trying to get you home." Pause. That just doesn't compute, right?
There is nothing a guy can say,
right?
So
I know what's bothering you.
Hey, Bougie, we in
It's the
Atlanta,
double-
boy.
it's
They
the
be
double-
saying
We in Atlanta.
It's the double
We in
standard.
Atlanta, Darwin. We gotta
Well,
look.
I'm in Jersey.
I'm
and
gonna
on this
make
side,
sure
we don't really do that.
you stay safe.
So hold on. Hold on. I'm in Jersey. We don't do that on this side. But I'm gonna say this. I think what you're angry at, or not even angry, let's just say disappointed in the double standard, right? It's the double standard.
A little bit.
It's not.
That is what it is. It is what it is.
Not in
Men
Atlanta.
and women, we're always gonna have double standards. There's certain things that women can get away with and do get away with on a daily basis, right? There's certain things that men are just going to get away with. We're different and we're going to have different circumstances, and it does absolutely hit different. Sweeney articulated to the point of nausea just now, but he got his point across, and at this point, it's got to be understood. It's not going to hit the same.
Yeah,
it's only one thing that you can say as a man, but your wife got to be a part of it. Only thing you can say is that yeah, but she robbed you when she gave me the money, right? Like it gotta be.
It's another one. You forgot.
You can't even say that. You can't
got
even
one.
Yeah, but she took your Rolex and she gave it to me. Like it gotta be like some pimp shit.
No, you can't.
You forgot one.
You're not gonna say that if that's your wife. That she robbed.
I mean, if it's
Not
a
your
lot of
wife.
niggas, if your wife
Get shot right there.
if
But
your
you
wife
forgot
is
one.
your hoe and she out here fucking for money, it's different. If
You forgot one though.
bringing the money back
Well,
to you.
no. The funniest thing that I seen it
one, bro.
yesterday. I seen it yesterday on on like a little video or whatever. And dude was like, I hate when dudes be trying to shark my little shit at the bar because you sitting up here talking to her, not knowing my kid's still in her cootie cat from last. That had me dying laughing. I was like, is that how men really perceive the situation? Like, that's their like, because when I look at it like in those particular terms, I'm like, women don't have a way to state dominance like how men are like, I nutted in her last night, bro. Stop talking to this chick. Like,
there's only one thing a man can say to have one up on a group of men in the bathroom who slayed his woman.
Slayed his wife, not his woman, his wife.
Okay, slayed his wife. Good. I hope y'all okay with herpes.
Yeah, that's one too.
But then
not you out here telling Darwin. You didn't went crazy.
That's one up, bro. That's
you done
one
went
up.
crazy.
Could have said HIV, but that's one up. Niggas would have left out of the bathroom like, Ooh.
Now you want to fight me. Now you want to fight me.
What? No, they would have want to fight. They would have wanted to fight both of us.
There's a reason why. There's a reason. Hey, but
That's diabolical.
there's a bougie. There's a reason why a man coming in the bathroom and saying that to you is damn near fighting words when it comes to your wife, rather than like if a woman came in there and said that to you and you the wife and that's your husband, you might be able to talk your way out of it. The only thing a man can do in that situation is crash out. Like there's nothing you can say that's gonna make the dude feel less than when he slayed your wife. You can't make them feel less than. You can't make them feel dumb. You can't make them feel little. You can't make them feel.
So you saying Offset can't make Stephon Diggs feel stupid
at all? Nope, not even a little bit. There ain't nothing Offset can say.
No, because look at how Offset been acting on the internet. He been crashing out. Offset feels stupid. He's been crashing clean out.
To be able to do
the
that.
difference though. Look at the
Somebody
difference
else
though. Look at how Cardi B treats Offset's women. That's the difference.
And that video that Cardi B made where she was like, oh, well, I guess he just all of our baby daddies. We'll figure it out. And ain't nobody respond to her. But everything Offset say gets reposted and laughed at. I will say that is the difference. Yeah, Sweeney ain't lying about that one.
There is no leverage that a man has in that scenario. But
So now you see the point.
Well,
You see
yeah,
the double standard,
so
right?
You're right. Because that example, yeah, they've been laughing at Offset and Cardi B just been like, girl, whatever, we'll be at the baby shower together.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
I agree with Sweeney, but I don't want to get misconstrued. I'm not saying that I can acknowledge that like these things are very hurtful to women. Like if women, I don't even like girls' pictures. I would never. I'm not liking the white picture on Instagram because I don't.
Let me go on Instagram real quick. See,
I don't. Yeah, you can look. I don't want nobody think if I like a girl picture, she gonna think I like her. She gonna think that's me saying that. Oh, you look good. I'm not telling you that.
Game change, though. Repo that. You and I both know that don't mean nothing. Just because you don't like the picture, don't mean that you don't like the picture.
No, I my personal opinion. If a nigga likes a picture, that means that he's telling you pretty.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
What if you like one of the homies' pictures? Does that mean you gay?
If I don't really like. It gotta be a personal opinion. Like I'm not liking my homie picture.
They are cue the video. Cue the sound.
I'm not liking no selfie. What, you like your homie selfie?
Why are we talking
JR,
about
you gotta
selfies
cue.
now?
JR, you gotta cue.
You saying picture altogether?
Or would you like?
I know for a fact every single. Wait a minute now. Y'all finna get up here and lie like every single one of y'all ain't like Real Dope's photos. I mean videos on TikTok. I saw y'all in the like. Y'all was all very happy for him.
Why are you projecting, Bougie?
I'm
I don't see anything
we
wrong with
all,
liking people
as a
pictures, men and
collective
women.
group, like Real Dope videos
you like
on
Real
TikTok.
Dope. Now that nigga ain't even Real Dope, no. That nigga named Repo Man now.
What?
Repo.
You said
Damn,
wait a minute. Hold up.
I gotta change my name. Hold on.
Wait.
Repo Man. What the hell?
Not you be taking people's cars.
Lock his ass
so
up.
you like so you get on the record said you be liking Real Dope that picture?
Hell yeah, him and his fiance be so cute.
She said and his fiance. Okay, she cleared herself.
I like his videos. You know damn well I follow all of y'all on TikTok. I am a supporter.
But see, the thing is, what's crazy. When I look at Trev, Sweeney, and White, and then my photos, I don't see no likes. But when I see repos, I see like.
See what?
She like his pictures, but you don't like none of ours.
Oh, wow.
I like Sweeney's and I like yours. Stop lying. Now I'm not gonna lie.
What pictures do you like of theirs?
Let me see.
All of my shit, nigga. No, I'm just messing.
Let me see. I'm gonna turn my other phone. Since y'all trying to accuse me of shit.
Violation or not? So
she like all of my pictures.
Helping your nigga out.
I like because Bohem is my wife. We go together real bad.
I'm just trying to
You see, it's the roots and then the blonde. That's how you know it's us. It's us against the world. Because if Bohem couldn't pay not a single bill ever again tomorrow, I got you, girl.
She don't need to pay. She know how to cook. She don't got to pay no bills.
And she cooking for me. Slow down. She's cooking for me.
Bohem will be able to pay some bills. She gonna be one of
Bohem
them.
is a bad. I don't care what nobody says.
She gonna be one of
But
them.
Darwin sitting up here being messy, talking about some. I don't never like nobody pick. No, I stopped liking your shit when you made me the goddamn clip of the week. What was that? About 3 weeks. Me and you had a major because I didn't appreciate that because that's not what I said. You clipped me. You and matter of fact, not at JR back up here. You and JR. I've been meant to cuss both.
I just clipped up what he recorded. I just copied what he already clipped up and put it on my page.
Because both of y'all out. Y'all always doing it to me.
Did they screenshot
Like,
the ugliest
do
part?
y'all know at my job, right? You know Octopus Kitchen, right, Darwin? And Baba's. So
Yeah.
that's I picked up a little work, right? Because I was like, I'm tired of sitting in the house. Need something to do. Okay, cool. A man came in there yesterday. He said, I know you from somewhere. I said, where you from? I just started here, like last week. He was like, no, I know you from somewhere. And as we talking, mind you, I'm loading up the cooler. This man is talking literally. When I say he sounded just like you with all his talking points, I said, I might know you from somewhere too. I turned around, I said, you ever watch Lapeef? He said, oh shit. I said, that wasn't me. That wasn't him. When I said that man titled that clip specifically, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna beat both of y'all up. That man said to me, and I quote, he said, didn't you say you couldn't learn from black men? I said, that's not what I said, Lapeef. Be trying to clip me. I said, that's not what I said. What I said was, if I have a man, other men don't need to teach me stuff. My man needs to teach me stuff.
I'm a PhD.
It's crazy.
Look, who did that?
Crazy to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a couple guys that will clip stuff up and send it to me so I can post it. So sometimes I just, if it's appealing, I'll post it. So that's
y'all be terrible to me.
Post it on your page. I'm like,
Great tactic to avoid accountability. I'm gonna start using that, Darwin.
What?
Yeah, I just be getting sent shit. I don't even be looking. I just be getting sent shit by niggas. So
niggas be sending me shit all the time. I got so many DMs, bro. It's crazy. Pause.
Y'all ain't right. Y'all be doing me so bad. And then I really gotta get on you because why do you be putting them AI?
What?
JR be having niggas out there like,
yeah.
Well, JR be having niggas out there like Mortal Kombat
look,
faces.
he AI this whole part of my mouth. I was like, that is not my nose.
JR be having niggas looking like Street Fighter characters out there.
It was just a blonde puff in my eyes. I was like, that ain't.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes AI characters make y'all look a little better.
I ain't gonna lie, he did. Hey, Bruce, he did make you look like Barack on one of them, bro. I was like, man.
I be getting identified all on TikTok, all in these streets of Atlanta. I be like, oh my God.
They all be making y'all look like the little boardwalk drawings, or like, you know, when they draw you.
They had your boy Sweeney up there looking like Warren Sapp.
Caricatures and shit.
The caricature. I be like, absolutely not.
Thought that nigga was Warren Sapp on that mother.
Oh,
y'all
bro,
be doing me bad.
No, nigga, he made you, boy, you had that.
I was like, bro, come on, JR, man. You got me out here looking like what's that dude's name? What was his name?
Hey, he had me looking like a dark skin. What's the dude's name?
This is my sorry for 2000.
Talking about Ruben stuff.
Terrible.
He had you looking like a dark skinned bone crusher out that motherfucker.
I can't. When you gonna pull up on me, darling? When are you and the wife going to come and get y'all a nice little lemon drop towel. We got bottles for the $100.
We'll come out there tomorrow.
Sunday.
Damn.
Sunday, first two
tomorrow,
shots
you
is
can push
on
it
me.
all the way to Sunday. See, you right.
Less.
No, because that's my next. I told you I'm only working part time. I'm not working full time.
Drink some bougie.
Yep. Y'all come to Atlanta, drinks is on me now.
Is this like the night? Is it like a lounge or a nightclub?
Cosby special.
No, it's a restaurant. It's like we got Octopus Kitchen. It's Octopus Kitchen, Baba and Highness.
What part is that?
Hold on. Let me go read these super chats.
Okay.
Dr. Steele, roles are out, whether the adults get along or not. Could be complicated for the children. Prophecy to save it $10. Y'all do know gender roles exist in the real world. Who are mostly work on cars, power lines, offshore drillings, oil rigs, constructions, truck driver, etc. Gender roles make the world move. Chris, $10. Assume that we have evolved past gender roles, but to what end? What structure in society reflect a positive outcome for men and women? We can't even replace the population with a new system. Phil Jr., remember $5 if a son is washing dishes and my daughter's chopping wood. I have failed as a father and leader. A biological and psychological competence is $29.16. Jerome, $20. I work 12 hours and I'm tired too. You changed the tire. Economic business and development, $2. She wants her lifestyle sponsored by someone. Prophecy to say, remember $5. Truth be told, some of y'all need to sit down with the financial advisor and revalue y'all finances. A lot of people are living above financial means. Hanging the base with $5. Sweeney, first day back is to save. I have a nasty word. $2 at the end of the day. Ty is from Chicago. City girl. Derek Joseph, 1999. Panel: if men and women are reasonable, what's the minimum wage in today's world for a working man to have a stay-at-home wife, i.e. $60K to $80K over $100K salary? I said no, need answers. Double Game X. Also remember the gaslighting in line tonight is on 10. Ralph Spirit, $2. Jay, just a little support, bro. Appreciate you. Mont, $4.99. Trav started earlier that 7% of women spend time on daily yard work. The number for men was 10%.
They read that
Games
stuff
for 9 months. Appreciate you. Most women don't respect men in modern time. Where you think to hold strong, independent, I don't need no man, come from. Thanks, feminism. Lot 499, bougie, put the things away. You and your man fighting or something. Go get dressed, girl. I was just saying this. Also, remember $10. So let's say you right, Ty.
Oh
I
shit!
watch and promote shows like Pop the Balloon and Love Island, etc. If you truly believe that women don't think like that, Prophecy save again. $5. So if it's not real life, then why watch shows that promote the worst of us? Kim with the 199, people are allowed to have preferences. I don't. Prophecy to Savior, $5. Come on now, Darwin. Women of all ages can get that top 1%. All the time, every woman is dating the 1% of all them are the best ever. Laugh my ass off. And lastly, Willie, mother amen. Also, remember $2. Miss Pearl has her straw tonight. If so, drop the link. One thing is everybody contribute to the platform. Let's make sure we support each other, support everybody on the platform. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank the panel, everybody that came in and has gone. Appreciate y'all. Much love. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Catch us